Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. I thank you greatly for being here. And look at Melissa and how kind she is. She already threw a super chat in the chat. Says, "We happy Thursday, beautiful people." Thank you very much for doing that. That puts us one super chat to our goal of 5 super chats. So thank you, anybody who helps us reach that goal. What a bloodbath it was today, says Camsta. But at the very least, it wasn't just crypto this time. Yeah, everything kind of took a little bit of a rinse and a reset. It's not a good thing in the long run. I don't know. We're going to deep dive. We're going to figure out what we can. We're going to see what's trending, and we're going to see what is going on with crypto today. This is your nightly check-in. I will catch everybody in just a moment. Reliable J in the house, my man. Thank you for making the show. I know you usually rewatch it, but you must have been up a little later tonight. Thanks for being here, man. Camsta, I closed the long. Sorry, I got myself feeding back here, checking the mic. Yeah, I closed the long a while ago. I made such good money. Longing river, shorting river, whatever you want to say, because I did a little bit of both. And I'm in another river trade right now that I just closed it. I had made more than that. I just it was like a $400 loss, but I made $650 just yesterday, so I'm not sweating it. And here we are over on the crypto bubbles. Got a new dread sock tonight, just trying to show it off a little bit. Like most people get like new shoes or something, I get new dread socks. They get me excited. Keeps the dreads out of my face. Could only imagine doing this stream with my dreads everywhere. It would be crazy. How's everybody feeling with this bloodbath? I hope you didn't lose too much. Melissa said she didn't really get caught up in it. How's the mic levels? How's the music levels? How are we doing? Get started here. Says, okay, good thing you closed it before today. Yeah, I'm really glad that I closed it before today. Says, yeah, buddy. Says Reliable J. Man, it's awesome to see Reliable J here, man. We have a lot more features than we used to. We have custom emojis in the membership. We have super chats now, so you can see that we're growing. I'm not trying to influence you to grab a membership or nothing. I'm just saying, like, we've grown a lot, and we're continuing to hustle and grind it out and have all of the features like a real big channel would. All right, Canton up 9%, 9.9%, call it 10 and 0. Layer 0 up 9.2%, but everything else pretty much down, and it's pretty... You know, it's what's the most down on the top 100? Like Chili's 13.7% to, I don't know, it's like maybe 5%. So somewhere between like 3 or 4% and 15% here. Let's drop down another 100 here. Let's check it out. Cent up 63.7%. Who had that on their crypto bingo card? I sure didn't. People running into maybe the newer coins today. Went as high as about 4 cents. Chilling at 0.039, so it's barely under 4 cents now. Pippin pulled back 27%. See Rose, which is an older coin. I don't really remember what Oasis does or what it is. Just remember we used to trade it in the Lifer group. I'm sure Reliable J remembers when we were trading Rose. 12.5% up on the day. At this point, anything that's up really stands out, right? 12.8% for this ADI. Not really sure what ADI is. Hopefully we go over it today. 12.8%. Hopefully it's in the like what's trending. Let's drop another 100. Of course, tons of red in the market. I'm mostly highlighting what is green because that is what stands out. White whale, 18.2%. Okay, nice. Like that. OFT or ONFA is up 15.2%. And then, of course, this Open Campus EDU, which I'm pretty sure is for education, is up 9% to 15 cents. So it's nice to see a few things up, but again, most things are down anywhere from like 15% to like 18, 19%. Well, what I meant is like 8% to like 18-19% is what most things are down here. Let's go take a look at Crypto Rank and do our price rundown. Probably need to refresh it, give you guys the latest numbers. Look at BTC's bumping up a little bit here. Overall market cap though, 2.9 trillion. So we lost that 3 trillion number. Are we in the bear market? The 4-year market's still really intact. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Look at that. Reliable J with a $10 super chat. Second super chat of the night to our goal of 5. Man, it's already starting to be an amazing stream. I got Reliable J here and he's giving me a super chat. Ah, man, I really appreciate you. Says, super chat, bro. What's up? Awake for the live. God is great. God is good. Absolutely, he is every day. And they say God is good, but I say what is good is God. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. That is awesome, man. $10 super chat. Now I'm beaming and ready to go. You made my night. You too, Melissa. Any super chats really make my night because it shows me that you care. It's not about the money. It's just like you care to engage and give a little bit to the group and the community. It means the world to me. All right. Bitcoin. I was going to start at Ethereum. $83,547. Ethereum, $2,798. BNB, $857. XRP $1.80, which is kind of good because I had sold some XRP just a little bit, not my main bag, but a little side bag that I had to do some trading with. That has worked out fantastic, other than that $1,000 that I lost, but I've got it back. And yeah, so I could get in a little bit lower. I think I sold most of mine at like 193. And again, that was my side bag, not my big bag. Solana, $117. Solana slipping a little bit there like everything else. Tron, 29 cents. Dogecoin, 11 cents. Cardano, 33 cents. And I'm not reading the down percentages. Everything's pretty much down on the 7 days. All right, XMR or Monero, $457. Chainlink, $11. Chainlink down a good bit. Hyperliquid, $29.61. Canton Network down to, is at 17.9, call it 18 cents, but it's actually up 26.2%. Hyperliquid's up 37% in the last 7 days. So they're actually performing pretty well against the market right now. SWI, $1.33. I love SWI. I hold SWI. I kind of believe in it long term. Doesn't sound good when I say I kind of believe in it long term. I believe in it long term as a predominant layer 1, but it's got to cook like everything else. We need good momentum in the market. $11 for Avalanche. Let's go see where the heck River is, just because I have been trading it so much. It has fallen a lot. Is it even in the top 100s anymore? Yo, did River lose the top 100? That's pretty funny. Hey, Jojo says Rasta BTC dropping. Yeah, it is dropping, absolutely. And I don't remember seeing Jojo in here before, so welcome in, welcome in. Do me a favor, man, hit that like button. If you want to, of course, subscribe. That's personal choice. And then there's a link to our free Discord where we hang out when we're not streaming. Everything crypto. Great tight-knit community. We consider ourselves family. And there's a link to that in the chat, so that should be easy to get to. I actually don't see it in the chat, so hold on. Just made me realize maybe I never pinned it. I did put it. So that's so weird. Where is it? I know that I put it in here. All right, let me go grab that link. Good thing I started saying that because I want to make sure that link is there. And then in a little bit, I want to show Melissa and Blues Guy when he's here something about grabbing the link from the Discord. There's a little thing you can do to make sure that the link that you are grabbing is in fact never expires, right? That way, if anybody ever came back to this, it'd probably still be pinned, I hope. I don't know, because I know the chat is not there when somebody watches this later. So I guess they wouldn't see the pin post. I just got to make sure it's updated in the description. All right, absolutely enough about that. Let's go to highlights and look at what is trending. And thank you, Jojo, for being here. Subbed a couple of days ago. Sam sent me. Ah, my man. Thank you for coming over. I appreciate that. If you want to raise your crypto IQ, we go over everything trending in the beginning of the show and whatnot, but our main focus is to raise people's crypto IQ, and I'm going to have a nice little bit for you here in just a second. By the way, I am in a trade, and I will be kind of trading here as we go. For some reason, I'm always down a good bit whenever I come get on the live. I don't know what that's about. I was just up like $67 and I was like, I should sell it. But what I've been doing here, and I'm trading River still because it moves nicely to the liquidity zones. And I'm following the liquidity roll. Shout out to Bankroll. Somebody go tell Bankroll that we're live. Hopefully he's around. Hopefully he is able to make the stream and not sleeping. But you could see these levels of liquidity here, especially when you zoom in. And you can see there's 125,000 at 43.9, so call that 44. But really, there's this nice liquidity up here at 46. And right here, we got this move, and we were just so close to go to that 46. It usually goes for it. But it looked like it wanted to go rinse the liquidity lower than us. See, it looks like it didn't take out that liquidity at 42.3 yet. I hope that it had wiped it. It wiped this liquidity here at 43. This is at 42, actually. All right, but anyways, it's been nicely moving to the liquidity zone, so it's made it easy to target. Yesterday, I was down quite a bit on the stream. I know a few of you guys were concerned for me, and this is us trading live together here. My strategy, it does produce, but you have to be very patient, and you got to kind of know what you're doing. I would consider it, not to toot my own horn, but I think it's a little bit more advanced than some people would give it credit for. We just had a nice wick up. This thing looks like it's ready to move. But anyways, I made $650 last night. When I was live, I was down a bit. I don't remember how down I was, but it was a good chunk. It ended up ripping. Like, it ripped so hard. Let me see. Let me drop it to like the 5 minute and show you how hard it ripped last night. The 15 probably better. So that would have been like this whole area right here. Why is it not? I clicked on the brush, but it's not actually on the brush. Yo, what is going on? What the heck? I'm just going to refresh this thing. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. Absolutely. And Jojo, you'll see what a great tight-knit community we have here. We really are like crypto family. I don't say that lightly. It is very true. There we go. See this great move up? I made a good chunk of money on there, and then I was in and out, in and out, in and out a little bit more than even the trade that I was in. And I could probably show that. Let's go down here and pull up our order history. See how far. You see a lot of zeros because that's just what I'm adding and taking out. It's part of my strategy here. You'll see I just took 38 bucks. That was last night. Is that all it's going to show me? Can I go to the next page? This is annoying. Where's the next page, though? Position, order details, transaction history, maybe? How do I go back more? It's annoying. I wanted to show you what I did last night. It's in the Discord, all right? So go to the wins. If anybody's interested and what I'm doing, I'm more than glad to kind of tell you what I'm doing here. It's been working really well. I made $650 yesterday. I made $850 the day before. This is a new strategy for me, so I had to tweak it a little bit. I made like $1,300. And then I ended up losing 1,000 at one point because I had a big flaw in my strategy. I fixed that strategy now. The fix to my strategy is looking at the liquidity. I wasn't looking at the liquidity before. River was just pumping so hard at the time that I basically could just keep longing and taking profit quickly. And if it drawed down, I'd just add a little bit. And I'd add to my margin. Like I have, like there's $666 in this trade, but I don't know. There's probably like maybe 150 at the most in the trade. The rest is all in margin. That's why my liquidation is like 36. And we're all the way up here at 44. I believe very greatly that we are going to go up to this liquidity at 46. There's barely any liquidity below us. 38,000 and 62,000. I don't know why it doesn't show anything deeper than this. I'm assuming that's because there's no liquidity. I don't know. Hopefully not. And then the other flaw that I have is that you have to pick this heat map by exchange, and Weeks exchange is not on here. So I could be a little bit off in my liquidity, but it's been working out really well. All right. When this thing's ready to move, it will. It looks like an inverted Bart Simpson, right? You got the... I don't know how to draw Bart Simpson at all. What does he look like? Something like that? Probably not. It's probably terrible. I mean, I know what he looks like, but I've never tried to draw him. All right. Anyways, it looks like we got an inverted Bart Simpson. Looks like we'll be going back up. Did I flip this chart? This chart has got to be flipped upside down, right? What did I do? Oh, I collapsed it? Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. No, this is not upside down. I'm just on the 15-minute chart. That's what it is. That's why it's messing me up. There we go. She's ripping. I'm back in the green, $7. Let's go. Are we going to 46? I'm excited. Oh, look at that. Jojo say he's from Scotland. Man, it's amazing. Thank you all, my friends. Hey, you're going to find, good people in this group who really care about you. We're very tight-knit. I wish Bankroll was here. Bankroll is like our resident in our Discord group. Jojo, I really hope you join the Discord because we have a lot of great stuff going on in there. A lot of banter, a lot of talk. There's some, a person in there who's been a part of our group for a while. He's doing his thing, trading, finding coins. Everybody in the group kind of has their own thing. And I look forward to seeing what you're into, Jojo, and what you might bring to the group. But it's okay if there's not a lot that you could bring. That's fine. There's a lot of things for us to talk about and learn together. Raise that crypto IQ. And he says blood pudding. Yeah, there you go. I'm actually, my family lineage is mostly Scottish and English. But I think it's hard. I think it's a little more on the Scottish side, to be honest with you. All right. Oh, I see your levels. That's what I need to learn. 2 weeks and you'll have your Lambo underground. Hey, I hope so. Then he says haggis. Yep. This is all. Sounds amazing. Yeah, awesome, man. All right. So, looks like there's a good chance we might go to 46. It'll probably play some games. It doesn't go straight up and down. It'll go up, and then it'll come down, and it'll go up and come down and up and down. But one thing I do really like about Trading River, I have to say, is that when it picks a direction and it decides, like, it's going to 46, it goes, like, straight up in a matter of, like, maybe 8 1-minute candles or something like that, which is what it looks like it's doing right now. So I have good faith in it. I almost don't want to click away. Maybe we'll watch this for like a half a second here. Actually, I know what I need to do. I need to set an alert in my trading view. Gotta always be like, wait, did I change it? You guys see what I see? And let's grab a horizontal line. I know you can't see what I see right now. It's okay. I'm just setting an alert so that we can kind of do the rest of the show. And then when it gets where I want it to get, we can check back in. All right, cool. Now we're ready to go. And we're up $12 right now. Nothing crazy. It's like $150. What I use quite a bit of money because I use a bunch of money to protect in my margin. When you add directly to your margin, you're dropping liquidity. It doesn't really help you for price up or down against your trade. That's different. So at some point, if anybody wants me to, I'll just keep going over what I'm doing. Maybe we'll take some profits and get back in and look at things, and we can do that. All right. So over here, let's take a look at what's trending. And then do I have a great crypto raising event for you in just a second. Now we're doing 2 different parts to raising your crypto IQ, and it's a series for people who's maybe new. You said a take profit and a stop loss. Reliable J, I do not. That is part of my strategy. Just want to answer that real quick. So I put my liquidation so deep, that's what I'm hoping, that my ability to get liquidated is very unlikely. Now, of course, I'm sure Reliable J is already thinking in his head, well, I see a huge flaw with that. Yes, there is obviously the case where you run down. And Reliable J, hey, you haven't been here when I kind of laid out. What I do is I put very little money into my trade, right? And I don't have a lot of money in my future account right now because I kind of, quote unquote, took profits by moving a large amount of money that I've made over to my spot account to keep me from over trading it. Let's see if it'll show. There you go. So altogether in my weeks, I have like $3,000, like 3,167. I'm up like I don't know, 1,200 bucks or something like that, maybe a little more. Be up real nice if I wouldn't have lost that 1,000. And in reality, I didn't have to lose it. I just had to tweak my model because I had a little bit of a flaw in it that caused me to get down that much. Anyways, long story short, usually I'd have another $400 or $500 here to mitigate, you know, to put in to drop my break even if when I'm down, and also add to my margin. So a lot of times I'll open this trade with like barely any money. Like I'll put like 2%, you know, there's nothing here to add, but usually 2% for me of my, well, I changed my portfolio because I keep moving my profit over to my spot account. But I started today with like 650. I had like $1,500 in here. I moved the rest over, kept about 650 because I want to do it again. I'm still in test mode with my model, guys. Like this isn't like I got this all figured out. Nothing can possibly go wrong, but it's been producing. It's been doing really well. And so I just keep moving over to spot, starting with a small amount, like 650. That's mostly so I can add to margin. But when I have like 1,000 or more, I could add more to margin as the price drops against me, and also add to my position once we found a bottom, and then get out of the trade relatively quickly. The other reason why I don't take profit, even though I want to go to 46, is that this thing has a habit, and a lot of coins do this, that when it finally gets the momentum to go up here, that last candle just rockets. It just goes way above the target for just a split second. And that is usually where I take my profits at. That big wick candle, you know, usually almost always the top of the price action locally. And we're talking about 1 minute, so like very locally, usually the top of the price action. So if I put a take profit, I'd probably make 20-30% less than if I just take the big wick candle when we get there. All right, I hope that clears that up. I'm both too, and Irish. Nice. I'm sure being so close there, Scottish and English, I'm sure there's some Irish in there's gotta be. Keep an eye on it, Underground. Absolutely. I sure will. Will you make enough money? He can buy you a car, and you can get a car, and you get a car, and everybody gets a car. Yep. This is the Oprah Winfrey show. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, you get a car. All right. So we got Ultima. Moonbirds we spent some time on. I wish Bankroll was here, because I sent Bankroll on a special mission last night to go into the Discord of Moonbirds and bring us back some good information. Who's going to do that kind of stuff for me tonight? Man, where is Bankroll? So anyways, Moonbirds has a lot going on. It's pretty cool. It's an older project. We went over it quite a bit. I'll probably touch on it. Hyperliquid, Canton, Bitcoin, Pudgy Penguin, Sentient, new on the radar and just absolutely doing phenomenal. I might go find Sentient and try to trade it, but I'll have to look at the liquidity and stuff because it's pumped so hard. It might be coming back. I don't know. Is this just the negativity in the market today and environment? Is this kind of like a today thing and we're gonna have like a nice recovery pump, or is this like beginning of the bear market stuff and we're just dumping? If that's the case, I don't really know if I want to trade bullishly. I might have to flip everything negatively. And last night, and I think the night before, you know, once we took like highs and we had liquidity below us, I trade my model in reverse in short, so I can make money any direction. This model I think is beautiful. We'll see how long I can continue to pull money out of the market. Ondo, Solana, PaxG Gold, Kinesis, Silver, Pi Network, Virtual Protocol, Monero. This is what is trending for CoinGecko. Mixing up my exchanges. Those are the two that we use. And we're really looking for things that we don't know a lot about. Moonbirds, ticker Burb, is on my radar right now. I think it's really interesting. 72.3 million in market cap, 1 billion max. Circulating supply only 285, so just a little bit over 25% vested. If you don't know your tokenomics well, for anybody who's new here, feel free to tell me. Maybe we can work on it. Sentient is an airdrop coin. Be careful of people dumping. I appreciate you saying that, and I've never seen that name in the chat. So again, just like I was talking to Jojo, smash that like button for me so I can continue to give you these shows. And also, if you are wanting to, join that Discord where we hang out when I'm not live streaming. Yep, I got you, Burb. There you go. That's hilarious. I traded Bird all day yesterday. I made some profits on it. That's probably what I should have been trading. I keep looking for other coins to trade, but I can't get caught in too much back and forth. Actually, back and forth works really well for my model, so I take that back. Back and forth is a good thing. I've just been doing all right on River, and I know I need to pick a new coin, but we get used to stuff, and I guess we get a little bit stuck on it. So I need to trade something else besides River, but like I just keep making money, and I don't know how to do something else when I'm continuing to make money. Why mess something up? If it's working, why fix it? All right, Solana contract, of course. It's an NFT project, right? Airdrop token NFT project, Solana meme. Let's go to the website real quick. Show off their website. So this project has been sold a few times. Freaking nose hair itching. All right, or tickling my nose. Anyways, a new chapter for Moonbirds. So this thing has been around for a while. It's been sold off a few times to different people. It looks like the most recent was sold to this Orange Caps Games, is bringing fresh innovation into the Moonbirds ecosystem. Join us together. So with a name like Orange Cap Games, you would think there would be a game. And apparently there's speculation. They've kind of hinted that they're working at a game, but there's no game yet, right? So daily crypto intel. Where the heck is Blues Guy? Somebody text Blues Guy. Let him know that we're live. I know he was off today. All right, Moonbirds. Very interesting. Do they have their OpenSea? Yeah, let's go look at the OpenSea. And they're depixelated. They remind me of the CryptoPunks, but they're just owls. And nowadays, if you're an NFT project, like you have to have some kind of utility, or you're literal garbage to me. You're just pictures, right? Just like the cliche thing they always say. Looks like the highest one here is 67 ETH. Again, if you got it, smoke them if you got them, right? That's what they say. If you got it, spend it, do your thing, whatever. I think it's borderline, special if you're spending 67 ETH on this. But hey, if you've got $1 billion or $100 million, what is 67 ETH to you? It's all a matter of perspective, right? Oh, we got a little bit of a pump and a pullback. She wasn't ready. All right, keeping an eye on that. And that's Moonbirds. It's an NFT collection. They're working on some more things. We deep dived it a bunch. Bankroll's posted quite a bit about it in the Discord if you're interested to get a little bit more acquainted with it. Of course, you could always go to their... this is not the right place. Take me to the right place. You could always go to their Discord, right, if you wanted to know more about Moonbirds. It was acting like I was in the right place, but I wasn't. Of course, Fear and Greed Index, not doing so hot. At 16. Yesterday we were at 26. We have been ranging in this 20 region. They really pulled us lower once again. Can Bitcoin ever get that lift off the crypto market? Feels unnaturally suppressed like they've done to silver for, I don't know, generations, I feel like, in silver. So hopefully we don't have that going on. Hopefully it's not going to be that long going on. Hey, if it works, says Reliable J, Sentient is the blockchain Gemini AI. Okay. Yeah, exactly. We've gone over it actually quite a few times. Smoking isn't bad. Okay. There you go. All right, let's move on here. And let's take a look at what is trending over on Crypto Rank. But first, before we do, I got a little story to tell you guys. As soon as this thing loads, come on. All right. So, I always want to raise people's crypto IQ. A lot of times it's a little over people's heads, so we're working, we're refining. Every day I think about how to make this show better, all right? When I say I work hard for you guys, I mean not just when I'm doing stuff literally like being live and putting out videos. Shout out to anybody who saw my Jupiter price prediction and, run through, breakdown, deep dive of the actual Jupiter product. But I'm always trying to figure out how to better present, better get you guys to understand the information that I'm trying to raise that crypto IQ. A lot of people are a little bit stubborn when it comes to education, right? A lot of different reasons. They could be a little prideful that they don't need to know anything, or they already know everything, or they could just literally tune out and just not have the bandwidth, not care, have too much going on in their life. But either way, I'm trying to find a way to make sure I get this in your mind. So let's talk a short story about Bottleneck. Right? What is a bottleneck? When things become congested on a network, right? They bottleneck and therefore they stop moving, that no one saw coming. So for a moment, I felt like crypto had finally cracked the scaling problem. How many people remember even slightly what we've been talking about in this whole series, but also what we talked about yesterday, which was layer 2s. Layer 2s arrived, fees dropped, transactions became fast again, activity exploded, developers shipped, users returned. From the outside, it looked like the hard part was over. Just checking on this trade, and back we go. But the system rarely breaks where you're looking. They break somewhere quieter. At first, no one noticed. Transactions were batching smoothly, rollups were compressing thousands of actions into a single submission, and the base layer stayed secure, just as designed. Everything appeared to be working until the weight of growth shifted. Not onto execution, not onto computation, but onto data. So a new, you fix one thing and 3 more things break, and you're forever trying to fix things. Reliable Jay, I know you're a mechanic, so you're well aware of how that works. Every transaction, no matter how small, leaves behind a trail, inputs, outputs, state changes. That information has to be published somewhere. Not stored forever in memory, but also made available so anyone can verify what happened. This requirement is not optional. If users can't access the data, they can't independently check the system. Think of like an Explorer, right? Think of like Ethereum Explorer, an Explorer where you can go and see all the transactions. And if they can't check the system, decentralization quietly dissolves. That's what data availability really is. It's literally the availability to people of the data. It's very straightforward and simple to understand. It's not about storage for convenience. It's about the ability for anyone, anywhere to reconstruct the state of the system. Are we bumping? Okay. And this is part of trading live on the stream, guys. I kind of have to hop over here and hit the buttons when I need to hit the buttons. Come on. Let's go. That blast off top wick. Cam still says river going. And that, see how I set an alert so I could still kind of do the show with you guys? That's what it's all about, in my opinion. Go. Go. I want that blow off wick. And just real quick, we'll go check for our liquidity moves. We didn't hit that liquidity yet. Not yet. The next one's not till 48. So there's a good chance I'll probably just sell once we crack this 46 and wait to get back in on some drawdown or something like that. Because it could. Sometimes it does just blast right through and go straight to 48 on some crazy wick. I've seen it on this coin enough. It happens a lot. But I don't know if right now it really has that kind of momentum. It's going to 46. It might take another 4 or 5 minutes, but it's definitely going. Anyways, I hope people are enjoying the story-directed IQ raising event. Of course, it's playing games. It loves to play games. But think about it. What would be the point of going right to the liquidity and not actually getting the liquidity to the market maker, right? Not to us, but like to the market maker. Why would you go up to like a, what is it? It's a chunk of money. There's 46,000. Wait, that's not there anymore. $296,000. That's a bigger chunk of liquidity for this coin. All right, it's playing games. Let's make sure that our alert is still nice and fresh here. What do we want? We wanted 46 and we did not get it. I'm just setting an alert in the back end in trading view. It's a little bit much to port you over every single time I do that. All right, so that alert's there again. Let's get back to what we were doing. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope this more story directed thing makes it a little bit more easy to understand, right? So let's start from a good place, right? So we're talking about data at this point, right? So to break it down a little bit, after we talk about layer 2s were great. They made transactions move faster and they were cheaper, but it allowed more transaction. It allowed more scaling and growth on the blockchain, right? And so from there, it created a new problem. That problem is data availability. So this requirement isn't optional for data availability. If users can't access data, they can't independently check the system. And if they can't independently check the system, then it's not transparent, right? And if they can't check the system, decentralization quietly dissolves. That's what data availability really is, the availability of data. It's not about storage or convenience. It's about the ability for anyone, anywhere to reconstruct the state, which is just the whole memory of all transactions and things that have gone on of the system, and verify that no rules were broken. Without data availability, blockchain stops being trustless and it becomes a promise. Layer 1 chains were never built to carry the weight of massive data throughput. They weren't designed for that, right? They were built to be conservative, expensive, and redundant. Every bit replicated across thousands of nodes for the sake of security. So security was the first kind of front and foremost thing for blockchain, right? That design worked when usage was low. But as rollups took off, something strange happened. Execution costs dropped dramatically, but posting data back to the base layer became the dominant expense. The bottleneck didn't disappear, it moved, right? Scaling pressure had migrated somewhere else. They fixed something, other things broke. This time it landed on the quietest part of the system, the layer that no one talked about because it was never meant to be glamorous. Data. Developers started to realize that asking a single block to execute transactions, settle disputes, store data, and remain decentralized was like asking one road to handle every vehicle in a city. It wasn't just inefficient, it was unnecessary, right? So that's when modular idea took shape. This is where modularity was born, the evolution of the blockchain because of necessity. What if blockchains didn't have to do everything, right? What if execution lived in one place, settlements in another, data availability somewhere else entirely? Each layer specialized, each optimized for its role. No single chain had to carry the full burden of the entire system. Instead of a monolithic blockchain, a monolithic style blockchain would be the original Ethereum. Crypto began to look more like an operating system. Rollups could focus on other user experiences and speed. Settlement layers could focus on security and finality. And data availability layers could focus on making sure information was published, accessible, and verifiable at scale. This wasn't a rejection of layer 1s, it was a recognition of their strengths. And layer 1s are excellent judges, they are terrible warehouses. Modular blockchain leaned into that truth. A dedicated data availability layer doesn't execute smart contracts. It doesn't manage applications. It doesn't care about user interaction. Its job is singular and strict. Make data available to the network in the way that anyone can verify. To do this efficiently, the systems rely on techniques like data sampling. Instead of every node downloading everything, nodes check random pieces of data to ensure availability. If enough checks succeed, the system can be confident the data exists. This dramatically reduces the cost of participation while preserving the ability to verify. But as always, crypto, nothing comes without a trade-off. Modularity introduces more moving parts, more coordination, more assumptions about how different layers interact. Security becomes more shared responsibility rather than a single unified property. The system becomes more flexible and complex. And yet this complexity isn't accidental, it's the result of growth. When crypto was small, simplicity was enough. When crypto started to scale, layering became necessary. Data availability is the constraint you hit when execution is no longer the problem. It's what breaks after layer 2s succeed. It's the reminder that scaling is not a destination but a sequence. Solve one bottleneck, another appears. This is why crypto architecture keeps changing and evolving. Not because earlier designs were wrong, but because they were incomplete for the scale being attempted. And this is the pattern you see again and again. First break execution, then settlement strain, then data becomes limit. Each time the system adapts. Understanding this progression changes how you think about the ecosystem. You stop asking which chain will win. I hear that a lot. You start asking which layers will exist and what roles they will play. Crypto isn't about becoming one fast blockchain, but it's becoming a stack. And the future belongs not to the loudest layer, but the ones quietly carrying the weight that everybody else depends on. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I definitely did. I get a lot out of them. Yeah, exactly, Camsta. Oh, wait. No, that was Melissa. My bad. It says, oh, like a bedtime story. I was going to say, yeah, this is me reading Camsta his bedtime story because he always goes before the stream is over. He's got to go put his boys to bed and stuff. Nice. I'm in River 2. Yes, I'm enjoying the bedtime story. Hey, I'm just here to put you guys to sleep. No, I'm just kidding. I want you guys to actually get this. GM Mr. J, where are you? Morning here too. Yeah, good morning, Mr. J. Thank you for being here. I know where you're from, but I'll let you tell him. I won't spoil it. I needed that after reading that long story there. And we're not done with raising your crypto IQ. That's just the first part, guys. That was just the first part of our thing. Now we bounce back to what is trending, but over on Crypto Rank this time, where we get, I feel like, a little bit more in depth with what's trending versus over on CoinGecko. No, I enjoyed the info. I like the new way. Cool. And we're still doing the old way. We're just doubling up on you. I'm going to take this information about crypto and I'm going to raise your crypto IQ. That is my mission. So Fogo. Fogo is a Solana virtual machine style project. I'll actually open it up and read you the description and probably be a little better than me just going off top of my head. Fogo is a high-performance Solana virtual machine layer 1 blockchain designed to deliver real-time experiences at scale. See, they're touting at scale. Everything is about scale when it comes to crypto now. They've got enough recognition from the olden days of crypto when it worked well because there weren't a lot of people. I'm going to keep kind of pointing out it's redundant. This stuff does matter. So here we are. And yeah. Lost my train of thought for a second. Don't think about my open trade. Don't think about it. All right, let's see. When did this thing come out? 15th of January, 2026. So not very long ago. 136.4 million in market cap. Been as high as 233. It's down a little less than 100 mil. Chart doesn't look amazing. Is a very new coin. And I actually have a Fogo project that I always show. And the reason why I show it is not because it's cool and it looks like a little game and I'm mining these fish that have some value, but, you know, not a lot. Hopefully they go up in value. It's because they have a Fogo wallet over here. And the biggest thing about Fogo is not having to pay those redundant fees to verify stuff. You kind of get to verify and then you can hold that verification for quite some time. And it's not letting me update here, but I could go to 1 week and just reset it for 1 week. I'd probably have to refresh the page in order to do that. But anyways, that's kind of their big thing is like you don't have to constantly pay those sign-in fees or signing things constantly. It just continues to do it for you, which is pretty cool. And that is kind of their big thing for Fogo. Hey, Elsa, think ChatGPT meets a trading bot that you can kind of talk to and give more direction. Hey, also is a cryptocurrency trading conversation bot designed to assist users in managing their crypto wallets. I like this project. I like the idea of this project. Let me be very clear about that. Like, I really like the idea of the project, not maybe necessarily this. This might not be the project that actually gets this right because you have Chain GBT, which is very similar. And you know what? I don't hear anybody talk about it. I don't hear anybody talking about it evolving. I don't hear about it having a new model. I don't hear about none of that. It's like somebody designed it, made their money, and they don't really care too much anymore. The 20th of January, 2026. So this thing came out about 9 days ago. 29 million in market cap, only ever been as high as about 92 million. The chart can kind of be a little bit deceiving, right? Because this chart could look exactly the same, and this all-time high could have been, you know, $1 billion, or it could have been 92 million like it actually was. And the chart is all perspective and ratio to the numbers, the chart could look exactly the same. So I do kind of look at the ratio between the all-time high and the market cap, and I don't think the disparity between the all-time high and what it currently is at in market cap is really all that big. Hey Elsa is a cryptocurrency trading conversation bot. Let's go to the website. How's everybody doing tonight? El Cheeto back again, man. I'm so blessed that you would come to the stream again 2 nights in a row. No, I enjoy the info. Yep, like the new way. Wow, Mr. J, I'm in Scotland, 2:15 a.m. here. Yeah, it's 9:17 where I'm at. Cool. It's 10:15 a.m. here. UG trending globally exactly. I love you saying that. Appreciate you. It's 9:15 over here. Yep, me and Melissa on the same time. El Cheeto in the house. How you doing tonight, brother? How you doing, Papa Cheeto? Says Camsta. Yo, Underground fam. Hope all is well with everyone. Hey, I'm doing amazing. Just living out the dream here on YouTube and grinding day after day. And of course, your viewership means the world to me, brother. Thank you for being here. All right, so we got Elsa. Looks like a ChatGPT kind of thing. If you try to click on anything, it just routes you to log in. And I feel really bad because I say this constantly. I need to log in and actually play with this and see what the heck I'm required to do. So I'll drag it to the end, and hopefully at the end of the stream I will get to it, or after the stream I will remember. Yeah, I'm gonna get to it, I promise. So many moving parts here, and things that I got to continuously do. Like I got to get the next video out that Blues Guy and me have been doing. Hopefully I can put that out tonight. I think I might go ahead and get that all ready right after the stream tonight, so I can have it out tomorrow. Sentient's all about the research of It's about the research of AI, right? And bringing people together. So Sentient is an AI research organization. So although it's an AI project, so you put it in the category of AI, right? But you could put it in a niche category of AI research. And you know how I am about all the categories and trying to somewhat keep things straight in your head. I feel like the more that you can niche them down into smaller categories, the easier they are to remember. So organization fostering a new open AGI economy for AI builders and creators. It develops platforms and protocols to enable open source AI developers to monetize their models, data, and innovations. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, because a lot of times people just tune out when we get a little too technical. Let's go and see what kind of attention they have. They must have some good attention after these big pumps that they've been having. Yeah, 586.1 thousand followers. And another big thing is they talk about ensuring that artificial general intelligence is open source and not controlled, like ChatGPT and Grok. You know, those are products from companies, and they are a little bit, controlled. Those are their products. They can kind of do what they want with those products. All right, so their pin post video says, "Let's get sent." It's just about a cartoon of bacon, a pizza, but it's probably great marketing. Who doesn't love a pizza, right? 652,000 impressions here. Way more than they have followers. It's from January 22nd, which is really not even that many days ago. So I think they nailed it on the marketing and stuff here. Look at that. That was very well done. I would like to hire whoever made that video, but I probably couldn't afford them. Arena AI mainnet. Or maybe I could. I don't know. We'll see. 25th February 2026. Arena AI mainnet. So they got competitions going. That sounds pretty cool. 21,000. As we scroll down here, 46,000, 13,000. We're just looking at the impressions. Pin post did really well. Maybe they boosted it. Maybe they paid for it. I mean, I have a pin post from when I was doing the ZBCN content and stuff, and it had 26,000 impressions. I popped my calf. What does that mean? Oh, playing paddle. It's painful. I can't walk right now on my left leg. Damn, he popped his calf. I don't even know what that means. Like he pulled the muscle off the bone. Dang, Sam out here just going hard. Anyways, I came over here to actually look at my own profile, not just scroll Twitter with you guys. All right, and if you haven't already, please follow me, Crypto Ron with the blue check mark, over on Twitter. we're still growing here. I forgot what I came over here for, to show you. Where is it? I unpinned the post so I could pin a new post, and now the post is not there. Very confusing, but I don't want to waste your guys' time going over that. We were talking about sentient. Let's keep with that vibe. And this thing came out, token generation event, not the project, but the token generation event, 22nd of January, 2026. Let's go look at their website. I thought their website was pretty cool looking, very kind of techie, kind of very, research foundation-ish, professional, if you will. The home for open source AI reasoning, right? So where open source agents are built, tested, and improved by teams across research industries. How's that trade doing? All right, it's holding up. It hasn't dropped hard like it normally does. That tells me it probably wants to go up again and grab that liquidity. Stay up to date on new research, agent architecture, and community programs, pushing and grinding and opening source AGI forward. So you know that there are lots of developers and people out here who do this for a living. Sometimes if you're not somebody who has any involvement in techie IT development or anything like that, it can be a little bit lost on you that there are people that this is like their whole life and this is their job or this is their passion or both. And so this is what they do. And so this would be very interesting to somebody who was working in development on their own product and a team for a company for AI. Maybe they work for ChatGPT, maybe they work for Grok, I don't know, or Twitter they would work for, not Grok. But anyways, you get my point. This stuff is very interesting to the people who it is very interesting for. For us who are on the outside, who are maybe not developers and stuff, we really just need to have a very general understanding of what the heck is going on so that we can understand if there is real value there or not. That's really what it's all about. Our research at the frontier of reasoning. And being like a research thing, right? So what is this? Cinematic embedding and reasoning agent. Chat now. So you can chat with this thing. When I'm looking at this, I hear all of the promises, right? I hear all of the things that they're saying. But of course, I also very much want to... I also very much want to see a real project or product, if you will. Let's see. Will you trade crypto for me? What did I miss? Oh, I spelled trade wrong. Look at me go. Live on the internet. Great. And they're like, pay me. Log in or pay me. Okay. Sometimes they'll give you like one free chat. Again, just like, hey, Elsa, if I logged in and things with every website we went over, I would have to try to remember a lot of logins. And I'm not interested in that, right? Not interested in logging in everything. Plus, like, let's be real, there's a chance that this project in 6 months is never heard of ever again. It does look like it has a nice little, like, could stand the test of the time kind of vibe to it, but we'll see. It's got to actually do it first. Fight.id. I've been in crypto too long. I love a lot of ideas, but I don't get married to projects, right? Because a new one could come out. Oh, man. Melissa says it sucks getting old. Yeah, I feel you on that one. I got back on a skateboard recently. Didn't go well. Hey, JoJo. Yeah, I feel you. I grew up skating. I have a skateboard. I love to kick push around. But to going hard like I used to throw myself down stair sets and, loading docks and stuff like that, I just don't see that happening anymore. I just don't. I'll continue to skate some flat ground, though. Bust out a few kick flips or something, tray flip here and there. Arthritis everywhere. It sucks. Oh, don't let Blues Guy hear you. He's going to put you on the boron immediately. All right, Discord group, thank you very much for putting that in there. Days without injury, 0-1. Nice. Yeah, Reliable Jay, you had a pretty serious injury, man. I'm glad to hear you're doing all right, and I hope you're continuing to do all right in the recovery of that. So 0.016. So, like 1.5 cents here for Fight ID. I picked up in a really weird place when I came back. I was like, here's the price of this coin. All right, Fight is a licensed Web3 ecosystem that transforms combat sport fandom into on-chain identity, reputation, and ownership. Think of like Chili's, but for UFC. They do have legitimate partnerships with UFC, which is kind of making me a little bit bullish on this coin. Let's go look. The 22nd of January, 2026. What is that trade doing? Doing like nothing. About to take this $35 just because what the heck, man? Let's see, at 45.5. Let me put my alert there. And where was I? See, the trading thing throws a big curveball in it, but I love it. So it's only been as high as 61 million, and right now it's at 33 million. It's basically down like a little 50%, if you will, less than 50%. So I don't think that that's all that crazy. I love that they have legitimate partnerships with the UFC. UFC is huge, and if UFC really cares about, in my opinion, this fight.id is really the Web3 exposure for UFC. It's the arm of UFC that is trying to get people who are into crypto, because they know crypto has crossover right into the fighting sports, because you see crypto.com advertise over there, you see different crypto platforms advertise over there. Those people do their market share research, and they're not going to advertise in places where they don't have a very good percentage of conversion. Conversion is people seeing it, caring enough to go look at it and see what it is. A lot of times they're not going to do that if they don't have good conversion, so there must be good conversion is my conclusion. 155.8 thousand followers here. Pinned post from January 21st. Today is the 29th for anybody who didn't know that. At least where I am. 100% refund, zero reliance on an ICO. 100% refund plus airdrop. That's crazy. 100% of fight ICO proceeds will be refunded to all participants. I don't even know what that means. Refunded, like if I buy the token, you're gonna refund me, or like do they have a membership or something that you can buy and then they're gonna refund it to you? I don't even understand. See if we can understand a little bit more here. As the flagship project on HoloLaunch.ai, Fight is setting a new standard for putting the community first. The team has a financial strength and the grand vision to prioritize long-term growth over short-term funding. They will capitalize and have chosen to give the total upside back to the believers. With the 100% refund, tokens will be airdropped to ICO participants on BNB chain, ICO participants on Solana, X402 Fight Pass holders. Again, here's this. Who here doesn't know what X402 is in crypto? X402 protocol came out in 1993. This is not new. It's the HTTP standards, but it's being reutilized for blockchain, things like AI agents and chatbots and stuff like that, micropayments. X402 is going to be a big category. Just watch out. It's going to take a little bit of time. Holler campaign participants and Holo stakers. I don't know what this coin is. Holo World, okay. So I'm lost here a little bit. What are we refunding? It must be the fight.id tokens, right? As a flagship project on Holo. Okay, so they launched over here on Holo. Now I get it. Refunds and token distributions are automatic and will be sent directly to your contributing address on BSC and Solana. No action is required on your part. Total fight supply 10 billion. 85 million will be airdropped. Okay, I think you all get the point. I see the refund is for people who took part in the ICO. It's cool. I wish I would have known about that. I'm sure the ICO is probably over, right? Anyways, they only have 155.8 thousand followers. Strikes me as a little odd. But this got 279,000 impressions, way more than they have followers. They get a decent amount of impressions, though, on just random posts. A lot of times what will happen is the pin post has all the likes and impressions on it. Looks really, really good. And then you go down and then there's like 12,000, 10,000, 7,000, But this actually has good. This is just an AI image, right? And people must be bullish on it because it's got 68,000 impressions there. And that is really it's more than just the platform doing a good job. Or the project doing a good job. It's very much Twitter believing that people want to see it based off of people caring about it when they come across it in their thread. So it's a pretty good metric in my opinion. Let's go get the website though. And how are all my undergrounders doing tonight? Says, yes man, love that you skate. Hey, I grew up skating. other people played like sports. That was my sport. We skated everywhere around the city, and we also all thought we were going to be professional skaters. I might have been able to do that if I really had focused, but I got pulled in a million directions. Okay. Oh, is that nasty? Okay, when I was a kid, I could barely roller skate, says Melissa. Always fell down. Yeah, that happens for a while. In skateboarding, you got to skate for about 1.5 years, 2 years before you're ever even going to like do a kickflip, right? UFC big on crypto. Yeah, they are. I never had a scooter as a kid. Well, I have one now, and boy, it's terrifying to ride it, period, but I'm used to it. There you go. You still ride it. Is it an electric scooter, or is it like a regular manual kick push scooter? Yeah, Manaki Crypto is involved with the UFC. I don't know what Manaki is, but I probably should. Probably supposed to know that. Yes, I bought one and still ride it to the train station and back. Okay, there you go. Crypto IQ +1, the real Mr. J. There you go. Appreciate you saying that. It says, are they boosted? Twitter algo is so sus. Oh, reliable J, bro. Yeah, I feel you. I can post consistently for forever. They'll still barely show my stuff to anything unless I pay them some money. Then all of a sudden they know how to put stuff out. Needed that. Blues guy's not here, so I can drink out of a plastic water bottle in peace. Although I would much rather have him here, to be honest with you. Welcome to the fight. Fight.id. We did a little digging. It's still a little weird to me what the heck the point of having like an ID is. Again, with the having to log into everything. All right. Identity, reputation, ownership, one standard for combat sports on chain. Each UFC event becomes a gateway. Fight ID, FP reputation. Fight the coin is the utility. So the reputation, a non-transferable points that reward participants and unlock perks. So basically like not necessarily a airdrop point reward system, but just a point reward system in general. This thing's still playing games with my money. Go up already. You know you want that liquidity. Let me refresh our liquidity map here. And again, what I be doing here a lot of times does require a lot of patience. The move does come, but it takes time. It's hard to believe they're very concerned about this like 82K right here when they could have 259K, but they're greedy maybe, and they probably want to grab that first. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's starting to boom. And honestly, if I wasn't trying to do all the other things that I'm doing, I probably would take profits on this and wait for it to drop and get back in and play the game over and over. But I don't want to make the entire show me sitting here doing that. Maybe towards the end. So a portable on-chain identity for fans to fight. So the fight ID is like your identity in the app, I guess. Then you have the FP fighting points, which is your reputation for, I guess, how good you are on maybe things like betting or stuff like that. That would be my bet. And the fight token, of course, is the native asset. I like the idea. I think it's cool. And I might have to mess around with this. I have a friend who would probably be very into this, as he loves UFC and the fights and stuff. I might have to tell him about that one. And so Somnia is all about gaming. Again, we're looking for things that are new on the radar. Spacecoin. Spacecoin is a DePIN, which is decentralized infrastructure powered by satellites, building trustless internet connectivity on a global scale. You can see their chart. Looks like they came out the 23rd. That's not quite right. There we go. The 23rd of January, 2026. And they've been as high as 49.2 million. Right now they're at 20 million. They're only really down like 50%. I've given my feelings and opinions on this several times. They got to show me something. They're all about these satellites. I don't know if they're going to rent space or ability to use like you'll see a cellular company come out, but really they just are on like say AT&T network or something, and they pay money to have access to the network, and then they have their own. It's so weird, like they have their own little network, but it's really just off of the paid access that they have, right? And they sell it cheaper than like say AT&T does, so people sign up with them and they get the same access, which I don't know why the original parent company like AT&T or Verizon would even allow people to do that, because if you never provided those cheaper options, they'd have to pay up the money. But maybe they look at it like, by doing that, they get people who maybe they would never get to sign up. I don't know. But anyways, I don't know if they're going to pay for usage on these satellites or if they think they're going to launch their own satellites. But I have a new term in crypto that I'd like to coin, and I call it IdeaFi. It's where you put out this project and make these websites and take people's monies in the hope and the dream of an idea. And I just need your money so that I can make my idea happen. Well, you know what that story usually leads. The fade into irrelevance, the reality that the teams are not really who's needed to make this stuff happen, and that they don't have the money to make it. I just don't see this really working, but it could. Spacecoin is the world's first internet network powered by blockchain-enabled satellites in low Earth orbit. It aims to be the standard open protocol for reliability, permissionless connectivity infrastructure connecting everyone everywhere. And so you get the idea. They're going to put satellites in space. They're going to rent satellites in space so that you can have blockchain internet. We've been talking in this whole series, this whole week, last week, and things about stuff like scalability, right? And when it comes to scalability, the more demand that you put on the blockchain, the harder it is for it to function efficiently and also, cost effective. And so putting the internet on a blockchain and trying to push it around the world doesn't really seem like a good idea, given the current setup and where we are in blockchain technology. I do believe one day it'll handle it with a breeze, but I don't think that right now we have the real infrastructure or capabilities to do that. And I say all of that to say I'm kind of out on Spacecoin unless they show me a video of them launching their own satellites into space or something. Then maybe I'll get behind it. Then you have Penguin. And I give you my real raw opinion. Like, I'm not paid by anybody to give you guys anything as far as push you in a direction. And honestly, I won't do that. If I have partnerships and stuff, there'll be things that are related, that are useful to the community. But I'm not sponsoring coins and making videos. Like, if Penguin hit me up to make a video, say I had 100,000 subs or something, I would tell them to kick rocks, because it's a meme coin, has no use case. I know a lot of people like their meme coins, but hear me out. Its whole premise is we're the ones who walk away from the crowd and do our own thing. Does that sound like the MO or the standard of the crypto bros? The meme coin bros, I really should say, because that's what I really mean. Are they really the independent thinkers who educate themselves in crypto, know about, more things than just like frat boy mentality, everybody band together, make me rich, I don't care why, It doesn't seem like it. These people, to me, who get behind these kind of coins, actually, yeah, exactly, won't even let me go to their website. It says it's harmful. I think it's garbage. But it's not just because of that. It's also because I just think the idea that they're the ones who walk away from the crowd is a bad message, because I think they're the ones who run as fast as they can to wherever everybody is crowded. But whatever, maybe it pumps. There was a more famous person on Twitter who reposted it or something, and that gave it a little more buzz. He probably paid him to do it. I don't have a clue. Anyways, ETH gas, Gwei. If you've ever used ETH, then you know what paying gas fees is. And if you know what paying gas fees are, then you know what Gwei is. All right. It says Bones Brigade. Okay. Electric. Okay, I thought so. I ride electric dirt bikes daily. Haven't been to the gas station in years. Hey, that's what's up, El Cheeto. Sounds like a lot of fun. Can we look at Maneki crypto, please, since you are talking about UFC involvement in crypto? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I said El Cheeto, crazy dude. Hey, you saving gas money like me. Gas prices are ridiculous, especially where I'm at. Yep. Yeah, it's bad. Here in California, it's like $4 or $5 a gallon, depending on where you are at. Forced to go electric, and now I'm spending around 1/8 the price of gas. There you go. All right, so let's look at Maneki for Melissa first and foremost, because we value her being here above anything I was about to talk about. And I actually hold Monecky, I believe, if it's what I think it is. Whoops, hitting the wrong buttons here. Looking at the chat. Did I spell this right? Or is it Monecky? Yeah, it's Monecky, right? The cat? Or by AI Virtuals? Which one is it? Please let me know. All right, is this thing ready to run? Lower low, lower low, lower low. I need it to break a new higher high right now, and it doesn't look like it's gonna do it. SWE just dropped to $1.26 just now. Just got that notification. Yep, doesn't look like it's doing it. Let's move back to crypto rank. I'm pretty sure you want this Monecky, right? But I just don't remember them having anything to do with UFC. I own some of this. It's garbage. It's done terribly. Tony Hawk was in the Bones Brigade. Okay, there you go. Nice. The cat. Yeah, I thought so. They were amazing. Yeah, they were. Shout out to like Tony Hawk, Rodney Mullen, the people we grew up watching on YouTube skate. Rodney Mullen's still doing all of the craziest stuff I've ever seen, and he's 70 years old. And yeah, makes me look terrible out there doing the craziest flat ground tricks you ever saw. All right, so only 3.6 million in the market cap. If we switch our chart into market cap, at one point it had a market cap of like 170.8 million. I very much believe this project is completely dead. Gonna be honest. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about it. I feel like it's most likely dead. It doesn't look like their website has really been updated much at all. You can hit play, you can see the cool artwork, but what are they doing? Like, they're not doing anything. And again, I hold some of this, and it's been very disappointing, like extremely disappointing. I don't know if they're like, if they just give up. I don't know what it is. Like, what do these tokens do? They made their money, right? Isn't that what it is? They've made their money and they don't really care too much about much of anything, right? All right, let's see how much they're even posting still. Their pin post is from October 17th, 2024. That should tell you everything you need to know. They're getting like barely any views. 11K, 9K, 23K. That one's actually a little bit better. It's from October 8th and then 25th. They're not posting every day. And I just honestly think that this thing is done. I mean, unless they launch... Was there big news, Melissa, around this or something? Yeah, Rodney is so crazy. Bam Margera's still working. Yeah, Bam Margera looking rough these days. But if you see how he was living, it's not surprising there. You guys remember when Tony Hawk went on his Boom Boom Huck tour decades ago? I believe I've seen footage from that. Man, that's a throwback, Melissa. Yeah, Monecky, if that's what he means. It is a heck of a throwback. I wish this thing would do well. I own some of it, but it hasn't done anything for me yet. ETH Gas is a marketplace infrastructure layer built for Ethereum's network, block space, and gas market. And it's pretty new here, right? We're on the 4-hour chart. Came out the 29th of January. Is that true? It came out today. I know we've looked at it a few times, but I don't really remember if it had a token or not, right? Yeah, I guess so. It's been trending up. 29th January of 26. Yeah, so token generation was today for this. 72 million, been as high as 80. Not a lot of disparity. It looks like it's holding up. It didn't come out and dump right away. I mean, I know what ETH Gas is and stuff, but I don't know what the heck that is compared to this project, right? Because I don't think this project actually reflects the price of Gwei. Real-time Ethereum gasless future. So, of course, it's about the gas on ETH. I think the name Gwei for it is pretty clever. And it's about real-time Ethereum. You hear about things like real-time blockchains. Real-time blockchains are basically that they settle. The settlement on the actual chain. We talk a lot about the settlement in these last series here with layer 2s and the monolithic original models and stuff like that. And you really do see that, you know, there's a lot of room for improvement and evolution here in the technology. And it seems like real-time blockchains could be that kind of evolution. Real-time primitive that accelerates Ethereum over 100x. So we're always innovating in the crypto blockchain technology space. Today, we're excited to announce that ETHGas has raised 12 million seed round by Polychain. Of course, Polychain would make a lot of sense to build Ethereum's block space future markets. What is a block space market? Anybody know? Anybody remember? We've talked about it. We also received 800 million in commitments from leading Ethereum builders to support ETH gas market. Oh, my neck's stiff. And product development. 800 million in commitments, though. Not actually like, they didn't give them 800 million. They're saying, hey, as you grow and get along, we'll kind of pump that kind of money in there. But into the markets, not like necessarily into their market cap. 1.3 million in impressions. It looks like a serious project to me. I don't know, 387.4 thousand followers. This looks like one to watch, maybe even one that's worth trading. I might be trading this, we'll see. Let's see, what is this thing called? It's called ETH gas, right? That's the ticker. All right, we gotta swap these around. No, Gwei is the ticker. Let me go to my heat map and duplicate it and see if I can get any information on that. I did not mean to do that. Model 1. All right, here we go. And I want to look at Gwei. All right, so we do have Gwei. We have it. Let's look at it from XC. It's probably closer exchange to weeks. Oh yeah, look, you got liquidity to 0.046. Really, first you're going to 0.0462. Let's get a bit of a zoom in here. Very little price action to go off of on this thing. But it does look like it wants to go up. There is a good amount of liquidity. Well, not really. That's 2.5 thousand. How much is this up here? Oh, it's only 6.9 thousand. So this would be a very high risk coin, of course. Keep that in mind. And if the charts for the overall crypto tank day after day here for a little while, it's going to really hurt everything. I guess I'll have to flip my model short for a lot of things. Looks like we're still up 35 bucks. Man. And when you go look at the liquidity, it really makes you wonder what the heck is holding this thing from moving, right? Because there's like not really any liquidity. There's 82,000 here. We might hop down to 43.8 real quick. But you got 152,000 like just right above you, and then you have another 269,000 right above that, and then you have 257,000 at 48. I could see this thing just wicking straight up to grab that liquidity, but it usually wicks in the opposite direction that it's going to ultimately go in. So I wouldn't be surprised if it wicked down to 42 real quick, ate this liquidity before it actually went up. Anyways, that is the course of trading, right? That is what it is. And once I kind of finish up with everything that we're doing here, I'll probably in and out trade a little bit more and show you guys a little bit more of how the model works. Moonbirds or Burb, we already went over that. Now Mina, I own some Mina. I wish it had some correlation, but I don't think that it does. What's going on here in the chat? I'm a text blues guy. I wonder if he fell asleep. He really needed to catch up on some sleep, so if he is, good for him. So Namina, or Nomina, whatever it is, probably Nomina, right? I like Namina, sounds good. Is an on-chain trading platform with cross-chain perpetual futures aggregation, automated positioning, syncing, and advanced tools. I think I've talked about this a little bit. It comes back to me once I start talking about it. This thing is not new. I've looked at a lot of decentralized exchanges lately over time, and I gotta say that I think there's way better. That's just my opinion. The 29th September 2025, it's a little newer than I thought it was. It was once at 138 million. It's at 26 million now. It got sold off super hard. I think that is kind of an indicator. And then you come here and you can access Nomina. I don't like the way it's set up, to be honest. User interface to me is very, very important. And this is all like through Hyperliquid too, which is interesting. Because why wouldn't I just go to Hyperliquid? Why would I even use this? And let's try to click on something. Like, let's just try to click on some ETH, right? We want to trade some ETH. I don't know what volume, daily volume, 3.5 billion. I'm sure they're tapped in and aggregating with everybody else, right? It's not 3.8 billion on this exchange alone. I'm very confident in that, although I could be wrong. They'll let you get up to 25x. That's not really that high leverage for a lot of people. Not trying to FUD this thing. But I just see, like, where's my chart? Like, where the heck is the ETH chart? Every, like, decentralized exchange, centralized exchange, I mean, look, we're looking at it right now. I come over to my position, like, the first thing I want to do is I want to look at the chart. I don't really want to look at everything else. Yeah, this is like a head and shoulder pattern. It's about to drop, unless, of course, we get the more beautiful inverted head and shoulder pattern. And normally if I was sitting here staring at this, I would have sold that already and got back in. All right, not a whole lot to say about this. It's a decentralized exchange. I don't like the interface. And when it comes to using an exchange every day, the interface has got to be good. I like Week's interface. I love MEXC's interface, you know? The interface is everything. That's usability right there. And if your usability sucks, then users aren't going to use you. Pax Gold, BitLayer, or BTR. That's an interesting ticker. 13.5 cents. BitLayer is a Bitcoin security equivalent layer 2 based on BitVM. Not Ethereum virtual machine, but Bitcoin virtual machine. This thing has been around for a little while. Let's go to the week chart. Looks like it came out the 25th of August, 2025. Look at that dip. And then V-shaped recovery. I was going to say U-shaped recovery, but it's more of a V-shaped recovery. Only ever been as high as 44.7 million. Right now it's at 35. It's looking pretty good. What's the daily trading volume? Is only 18 million. That's a little bit low for me. If I was going to trade it, I like something more around 80 to 100 million at least. Kind of minimal there. Now let's go to the website. One of the things that I really liked about it, and I haven't seen to my memory on a lot of these, is that this is the Web 2, right? But let's launch and go over to the Web 3 part of their ecosystem. I love that I can come up here and connect a wallet, and I can connect a Bitcoin wallet, right? Actually has Unisat, OKX, BTC wallets, and Xverse wallet, if you know about any Bitcoin DeFi. So it's very native, real Bitcoin DeFi. I like that. And this Turbo's Finance with SWI and whatever the heck else this is. What is this? A pool with SWI and what's the other token? Turbo Finance. So their token is getting up to 17% or 19.2%. Yo, that's a good yield right there. If you can consistently get that over a whole year, that's beautiful. If you had 100,000, you made 20,000 a year just doing nothing. But then again, what's the long term on it? Can it hold it? High yields tend to not hold that high yield for very long. How long can you pull it out? Do you get penalized significantly if I pull out, you know, my profits or something like that? Can I get in and out of it? There's a lot of questions there, right? How much fees am I paying in Bitcoin? Stuff like that. So then you have World, which you should kind of know what World is. It's been around for a while. I was looking into it to potentially being another coin I trade like River, and I just didn't really decide that it's something I wanted to do. So World is an EVM compatible optimistic rollup. Do you know the difference between an optimistic rollup and a ZK zero knowledge rollup? Do you understand why we have those? Do you understand which one is better? Do you understand what any of them do? What is your crypto IQ? Come night after night to the Underground Crypto Show, deep dive research show. and we will kind of teach you about all of those things. Blockchain performance built on top of Ethereum as part of the Optimism superchain. So originally, when it came to taking a bunch of transactions, putting them into one small transaction off chain, and then take that one small transaction, right, and then verify it on the chain, it was very optimistic. What were they optimistic about? They were optimistic about the fact that what was being put on the chain was legitimate, right? So it was like verify first, assume honesty, which where in the world does anybody ever think assuming honesty is a good idea? And then we will dispute anything that we think maybe is incorrect later down. That was kind of the first implementation. We're talking all about layer 2s and data availability and stuff. So this stuff is extremely relevant to our series and what we're talking about tonight. And then zero knowledge came out, which is really cool. It's a bunch of mathematical jargon that I wouldn't necessarily understand, but their claim is that they can verify transactions, that they are legitimate, and that the money they say they have and whatever information is a part of the transaction, depending on what you're doing on chain, is legitimate. They can verify without ever actually seeing any of it. How the hell they do that, I have absolutely no idea, but it seems to be working, and everything is switching from this optimistic to zero knowledge, or a combination of both. It's very interesting stuff to me. Anyways, we're talking about world. I don't think it's the most exciting thing in the world, but I just wanted to read the description. It is on the Optimism superchain. It's at about 45 cents. And you got Jito Labs. I'll at least read the description on this. Jito is a liquid staking service from Solana that distributes MEV rewards to holders. Maximum extractable value. What is that? What does that mean? What's a mempool? Keep coming to the channel, guys. You guys are going to get this stuff. That I promise. I promise you'll get it. If you'll promise me you keep coming to the show to raise that crypto IQ. Trending again. River getting some attention again. 20 most visited coins in the last 7 days. Very, very happy to hear that. I wish some of that excitement would translate into people buying the coin and it actually pumping. But every time I think it ain't going to happen, I'm patient and we move. So I'm just going to chill and I'm not going to sweat bullets. You start to become numb the more you do it. It is what it is. I've got risk. I've made money. I could lose all of my money and get liquidated that I have in this trade. Would very much suck. It'd put me back a little bit for sure, but I wouldn't be negative, and that's what I think is most important. It's just dipping into this liquidity here probably before it runs up here, and you look at it and you think like, why doesn't it just go down, grab the liquidity, go up, hit the other liquidity? But it moves slow because it's building more and more liquidity for the moves. They're greedy. I think of the market makers as very greedy, and they play a lot of games to get people to flip one way, flip the other way, do this, do that, and then they can kind of just get everybody's money. Anyways, let's continue our due diligence. Zama, think homomorphic encryption. That's a very technical term, but this is Zama. Zama is a cryptography company dedicated to developing open-sourced homomorphic encryption tool for developers. Say that 4 or 5 times really fast. Very interesting. No token generation event. I think it's weird. It says they raised 57 million here in this Series B round with Panera Capital and Block Exchange Ventures. But up here it says they only raised 43.8 million. I think their numbers are just a little messed up. It says airdrop potential. And there you got a bunch of information about how you could potentially deal with airdrops. Zama has announced the OG NFT claim. If you participated in Zama's creator program campaign and won NFTs, you can claim it now. This NFT gives you the opportunity to buy Zama tokens at a discounted price of 0.005 cents per token. So you can kind of get in on the white paper. That would have been nice, but man, you can't run every airdrop unless that's all you do. You'd have to be very good at it. River, you should know what River is. Sentient, we went over. Moonbirds, Accurast, also new on the radar. Accurist, I'm going to call it that from now on. I like Accurast too. But Accurist is a decentralized computation network using smartphones for secure execution. I talk about it constantly. AI is huge and it needs a ton of resources. everything that you hear going on. Your AI agent that's going to manage your portfolio, pay your bills for you, trade in the market, and make you filthy rich, right? That guy. He requires a lot of resources, guys. All of AI does, and a lot of big tech does as well, even outside of AI, right? And so those resources have to come from somewhere. So there's a lot of projects that say, well, let's look around the world and find places where there's already a bunch of resources that are really not being used. Your bandwidth on your internet, grass. Your cell phones, there's Accurist or whatever, but there's also several other ones. Some of them want the resources from your computer. There's all kinds of stuff. Some of them want storage from your computer and stuff like that too, like what do you call it? Used to be like the big peer-to-peer streaming platform. It's not coming to my mind. Dang it. That would have been good. That would have ended well. Anyways, they want access to your mobile phone, and they will give you a small amount of money for it. Superstate, we talked about, very small project, no token generation event. Superstate is an asset management firm modernizing the infrastructure of investment funds. Sounds super, financial and boring to most people. No token generation event yet. The Twitter doesn't seem like they have a marketing team at all. They have 222 followers, and they haven't posted. Usually when I see this, it means they've been suspended, but actually they just haven't even posted anything yet. So I don't know how serious they are about even having a project, to be honest with you. Or they're getting ready and they just haven't hit the go button yet, right? They're not ready to launch, not ready to do anything. Shout out to anybody who's rolling in here. Welcome to the Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. Smash that like button and subscribe. Link to our free Discord in the chat. Bitway, or BTW. Bitway is a layer 1 blockchain protocol designed for Bitcoin-based applications. And who knows? You hear me say it a lot. I see Bitcoin DeFi time after time after time. We had the round of coins like Hemi and stuff like that. And you see more and more Bitcoin DeFi stuff coming together. And the more I continue to see it, the more I start thinking like maybe Bitcoin DeFi is going to have some oomph to it and finally be relevant. But in my, experience, I have to say it comes up constantly. Projects come up constantly, and I just don't see the buzz. I don't see the users wanting to use it, all of that kind of stuff, right? And it doesn't mean I don't like Bitcoin DeFi or Bitcoin or anything like that. Please understand me. It's just the fact that they don't seem as a category to move. Like we saw decentralized coins, private coins move. We saw decentralized exchanges move. That's what I was going to say the first time. We've seen these big categories move all together, and I haven't seen Bitcoin DeFi really move much. The Internet Capital Gateway, connecting on-chain liquidity and global opportunities. And the big thing about Bitcoin DeFi is, hey, there's a ton of liquidity, all these people holding Bitcoin, and we want to create a space where they can move it around liquid and earn yield and do all of these things. But who's the main benefiter from that? It's the companies that are facilitating the moving it around, the yield, the stuff. They want to unlock the liquidity. Well, I think the big problem here is that people who bought Bitcoin wanted a digital gold. And what do you do if you're in the mind state of gold? If you're a gold bug, you hoard it, you stack it, you put it in a vault, you store it with like a super safe company or something of that nature, and you just stack it and put it away, right? It's for savings. It holds value. It's for keeping value when you have a lot of money or just any money you want to keep protected. I don't think those people want to pull their gold bars, digital gold bars, out of the vault and go and use it in the economy the same way a gold bug doesn't pull out gold bars or coins and try to go spend them at the store, right? Although as much as stuff costs right now, you probably could spend gold bars at the store. 163.3 thousand followers. Pre-token generation allocations are finalized by KDO AI Capital Launchpad. So that's who they're launching through. 33,000 impressions seems kind of weak to me 20 hours ago. So it is a very smaller time frame. So you give them a little bit of leeway there. 47,000 impressions from the 21st about their public sale going live. Doesn't strike me as a big buzz event. 163.3 thousand followers. We'll go look at their website. They are backed by the YZI Lab, so maybe it's going to do something. No, we already went to Twitter. Go to the website. The Internet Capital Gateway. connecting on-chain capital and global opportunities. We've talked about how this is all about liquidity and capital of people who hold Bitcoin. We have Detrify, which is simple earn on BNB chain and other EVM networks, yield in stablecoin terms, delta neutral, hedging strategies, institutional grade custody, and normal and flash redemptions. So here's another thing I really want to say about Bitcoin DeFi. Actual Bitcoin, we have the Lightning upgrades and stuff like that, but actual Bitcoin doesn't have a lot of room for Web3 and smart contracts and stuff. You have what's called inscriptions, where you can inscribe information into the blocks, into the transaction, and that is a slight way to do some usability, but I haven't seen the big push and capabilities of actual smart contracts, like real full-on smart contracts that you could build real applications. And I say that to say that a lot of Bitcoin DeFi is like in Bitcoin name only, and then they move all the transactions and everything that actually happens, they move it all over to like Ethereum or something. So it's like you're like, and this is a lot of projects. I don't want to say Bitway is or isn't that way, but if you understand what I'm saying, it's like you can't really have Bitcoin DeFi. Services not allowed where I am, happens every time. I don't have a VPN on. So if you can't actually have Bitcoin DeFi because you don't have real smart contracts, you only have a small capability to move in, information and program information, and it's pretty much just inscriptions, then a lot of it is just like a project on Ethereum masked as Bitcoin DeFi. That's basically what that ends up being. And so I think that's another big thing that stands in the way of these Bitcoin DeFi projects really running, because the legitimate usability is not there. That's just my thought. So this is Flying Tulips. It's very financial. It's not the most exciting thing to me. 215 million, or it's not the most exciting to retail, I believe. Flying Tulip is an on-chain exchange that provides spot trading, perpetual contracts, lending, options, structure, yield, all of those different things. Let's go look at the website. Reliable J says, good night, y'all. Hey, good night. Have a good night. Thank you for being here, Reliable J. You're a real one, for coming through and dropping a super chat. That is awesome. Yep, Underground and Blues made a video about it. APY going crazy. Nice high yield. I was in a small BTC short. I am new to trading. When it dumps, was at shop, and when it took profits, go back in there, and it's still dumping. I need to sleep. Yeah. Hey, that's how trading goes. I'd be stuck up late night trading. Now we're using my break-even line as if it was some kind of real resistance, support and resistance point. I think it's hilarious. It looks like we just flipped support and resistance, my break-even line. And yeah, that is what it is. It's what we're doing here. And we're just ranging. I don't think there's a lot of volume at this moment. It's kind of late. Although I guess Camsta, I believe, said Tokyo wakes up and starts trading about 9:30. If you think about the way that the New York market works, in my opinion, although it wakes up about 9:30 a.m. From Tokyo, we're talking about 9:30 p.m., right? 12-hour difference. But the move for the New York exchange comes when Lifer's live. It's not an accident, guys. The time that and I don't feel like I'm giving away a secret or anything. I think it's pretty obvious. The time slot that he streams is when most of the moves happen for the New York market, right? And so I feel like that if you think 9:30 to say 11:30, 10:30, 11:30, I'd say more like 11 to 12 is when most moves happen. So if you translate that, 9:30, it'd be about the same. So I'm hoping for maybe a move here in the next hour for this trade. I wish I would have in and outed it a little bit more, but I didn't want to eat up the whole show because we got to still do the show even though we're trading. You away, Melissa? Says I'm back. I was posting a few things in the Discord. What is she posting? Okay. I see you saw that I added a new tab. Who is this in here? This is O. Who is O? O doesn't have any activity to share. Somebody posting in the Discord. Weren't we just at 98K? What even is this market? This makes investing in crypto so difficult. I've been investing since 2021, so I have patience. But these swings, no blow off top, no altcoin season, no liquidity, money printer movement upwards. It's so exhausting. We want to get out of the rat race, but this makes us go a second or third source of money just to get liquidated. Okay, vent over. Anybody who's on the live stream, is this you in the Discord posting that? Can I connect this to somebody who's actually here? I would like to reply to you, but I have a show to run, so I will do that later at another time, right? I gotta go. Good night, guys. Hey, thank you for being here. You're the best. I appreciate you so much. Yes, Camsta, nice tutorial section. UG, yes, exactly. I put that there. You guys asked. I do my best to deliver. That is my promise to you guys. Show you guys that I appreciate you. All right, now we're going to continue to try to raise that crypto IQ here. I love the topic that we're talking about. I think the topic that we're talking about is pretty basic. I read you guys' bedtime story here, but it's not over yet. You're not allowed to go to bed just yet. So then I have our more original series, which is just a different angle. I hope having two different angles helps you understand it. Now we're going to try to, we did the whole story so you could connect. Now let's hit it like bullet point style and get straight to the point. After layer 2s took off, it felt like scaling was finally solved. So, you had layer 1, you didn't have layer 2s. You had all these issues with bottlenecking and transactions and gas fees being high. Layer 2s came out. It felt like scaling had been finally solved. Everybody celebrated and we thought we were there. We thought the future was here, adoption was coming. Fees dropped, the throughput increased, activity exploded. But under the surface, something else started to strain. No execution, no speed, not execution and not speed, right? The things that we had just solved, but data was the new problem. This thing is so slow, it's getting on my nerves. What data availability really means. Every transaction produces data. That data must be published, accessible, and verifiable. If users can't see the data, they can't verify the chain. Why this becomes a bottleneck, rollups, batch transactions, but they still need to post data somewhere. Make it available to everybody. As usage grows, data costs grow, congestion shifts, scaling pressures move again. Execution versus data. Execution is running transactions. Data availability is publishing transactions. There's a difference. And this is publishing transaction data, right? So this is it happening. So execution is the act of it actually happening, and data availability is the memory and storage of the transactions that happened. They are separate problems. Layer 2 solved one of them, they exposed the other. Why layer 1s struggle here? Layer 1s were never designed to host massive data volumes or serve as data warehouses, right? Storage. They were expensive for a reason. The modular idea comes to the forefront, right? Instead of one chain doing everything, what if one layer did executions, one layer did settlements, and one layer stored data? Each layer specializes. What modular chains do? Modular chains focus on data availability, publishing blobs, and ensuring data can be retrieved. They don't execute smart contracts or manage applications. They support them. Why this is powerful. Rollups can scale independently, choose data availability layers, and reduce costs. Flexibility therefore increases. New trade-offs. Modular introduces more components, more coordination, and more assumptions. Simplicity is the trade for scale. Security considerations. Security is now dependent on the data availability guarantees, sampling, and honest majority assumption. Different model, different risk. Why this matters on a long-term scale. As crypto grows, more applications and more users and more data is there. Execution isn't the only limit. Data becomes a constraint itself. Core insight, scaling isn't one problem. It's a stack of constraints. Solve one and another one appears. So in closing, crypto scaling didn't end with layer 2s, it moved again. And now understanding where it moves next is how you stay ahead of the curve. And so there's just a nice little reinforcement, right? Just reinforcing what we already had taught you. And I hope that it helped in some form or fashion. Still continuing to dip and dump. Hop to the 3 minute here, see what we see. This is like a very ugly inverted head and shoulder, if you want to call it that. I don't even know if I want to call it that. I think that's a little abstract, don't you? Down 56 bucks. We could have took 35. We're playing with our lives over here, but I got to focus on the stream, right? And so, does anybody feel like we missed anything? Top gainers, top losers, maybe. Let's go check that out. Go to highlights. Let's go to top gainers, top losers. Top gainer of the day is Bulla, which I am sure is a meme coin. 24.7 million BNB blockchain, and it is a meme, right? Doesn't even have a website. So are you bullish on Bulla? I don't know. Sentient up 68.8%. Is it going to keep pumping? Are we looking for a pullback? I don't know. Is River still one of our top losers of the day? It doesn't look like it. Congratulations to River for not being the top loser of the day. But it is Kinetic. What is it? Kinetic with a Q though. Pippin and Moonbirds. Yep, Moonbirds giving that pump back there. Planet IX. Planet IX has rebranded to Planet IX. But the ticker chain from IXT to AIX. Why they did this, I have no idea. So 22 cents, not really a new project, but I guess it's new in the fact that they migrated. December 3rd, 2025. I don't know when they actually migrated, if that's recent or if this is like back in. I wish in this little thing that they give you information, it would say like a date of when they migrated. That would be very helpful, CoinGecko. Get on that. December 3rd, 2025. Been as high as 39 cents. It's at 22 cents. It doesn't look horrible, but what the heck is it? Base blockchain. Sounds like doom and gloom, says El Cheeto. Thank you for the new tab. It will benefit everybody in the community. I certainly believe that. You guys are definitely welcome. It should close this trade and get some sleep, but enjoying the stream so much. Hey, thank you for saying that, man. Thank you for being here. Now we've, I think this you said this was, is this your first stream that you've been to? Jojo, let me know, but I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it either way. MACD flipped red on the 15, not looking good for River. Okay. River is almost red on at TF timeframes, on almost red on all timeframes, I think is what Melissa meant. I knew the pullback was coming. I thought it was going to happen yesterday though. Yeah, I just pulled a small short on River. Hey, that's probably a good move. Probably a good move. The liquidity though seems to be very small to the downside. There's not much liquidity to go after here, and they already went after it earlier. I thought they would eventually come up and grab this. I don't know. The market makers playing games with their lives here. That's probably a little too zoomed in. Let's back it up a little bit, like to there. Cool. So what are they going to come down here and grab 125K at 42 and another 35? Like there's like what? There's like maybe 250K going as low as 41.2. Oh, that's not even, there's no liquidity there, to 41.4. Now, I don't really know what's up with the fact that they don't show me way down here. I believe that's because there's no liquidity really under like 41. Once they eat some of this liquidity, they're going to eventually have to go up because there's no liquidity anywhere else. That's just my opinion. Let's see if we can change the threshold. What does that do? Huh. I don't know what the whole threshold thing is. It didn't really make the map bigger. Let's max it back out again. I really don't know what this whole threshold thing does. It just makes it maybe more sensitive. Is that what it is? Huh. Okay, it highlights the liquidity a little bit better. I don't hate that. Let's open Bookmap for BTC. We have so many things and segments that we do on every stream. I love it. It's making the stream easy to run 2-3 hours, no problem. So man, I want to go to bed. I want to do it before I go to bed. So, okay, so closing. I'm just jumping everywhere. Let me restart here. Yeah, pulled a small short. Yep, first. Nice, Jojo. And you're actually enjoying it. That's awesome. So close to getting bankroll over the healthy 100. You always say bankroll, and I think you're talking about bankroll, you know, but you're talking about your money. Man, I want to do it before I go to bed. Will it run? I said, will I run it all by over trading, ruin it all? Man, I can't read. Maybe I'm getting tired. Stay tuned and find out. Exactly. Patience, Camsta. Don't rush it. You'll get it. I was much closer to the 200 this morning. Wow. Gotta stop trading at work, man. 2 terrible trades in a row with BTC dumping. Yeah, trading at work was one of the things I later on had to promise myself I wouldn't do anymore. And I was running like in a trades kind of field with my own business, and so like if a customer decided they were going to come up to me and talk to me for like an hour, like it was very hard for me to like look at a phone, or if I had to run somewhere or something like that, it made it very difficult. All right, I just pulled up Bookmap. I'm going to port you guys over to Bookmap so that you guys can see Bookmap. Bang, bang. And we're just looking for liquidity here. We won't spend a lot of time on Bookmap. And this is BTC. If we zoom way in, it looks like maybe up to 82,320. But it does seem like there's a little bit more liquidity. Big red is at 82,300, it looks like. But there's liquidity on both sides, right? And it tells you like there's 270. It changes a lot, but like, you know, 250, 270 BTC at 82,300. Looks like liquidity's running for it right now. But if we zoom way out, let's zoom way out, you would see they've built a bunch of liquidity again. What is this? 76,000 between like 78 and 74,000. There's 2, 4, 5, 6, 700 probably BTC down here. This is how they pull price down for sure. Never a guarantee that you're going there, but these things, look, that is your closest red on a macro scale. 81,600 BTC at least. So probably a short pull up to like 82,600. And if we get that pull up and liquidity seems to build, but in the shorthand, there seems to be a lot of liquidity on both sides here. Although we are, yep, they just pumped up right where we were talking about. Liquidity is very important when it comes to looking at where a price might go, and back to where we were, and back to the trade. And now it wants to pump. And now we've already done a lot of the show. We are entering into the underground crypto hangout section of the show. This is where you can ask whatever it is you want to ask. You have a project you want me to look at. Shout out to anybody jumping in here. Smash that like button if you would. And subscribe. And there's a link to our free Discord in the chat where we are hanging out when we are not live. If you ever want to chat with me or talk to me about something, I won't give you financial advice, but we can talk about what I'm doing or my opinion on something. I was much closer to 200 this morning. Yep, it sucks because it's prime time when I'm at work. Yeah, that's how that usually goes. But that's good I have a job, because if I had to support myself lev trading at this point, we'd be in the streets. Hey, that's hilarious, Camsta. And this thing's starting to get a pump. I like it. Let's go. That's a strong candle. Is it finally ready to run for this liquidity? And again, you can really doubt yourself a lot when you're looking at this liquidity, but the more I look at it and the more I watch what it does over time, they're going for liquidity. That's what the heck this thing is all about. They're not playing around. They're just taking money. They're getting uber rich. I want to have an exchange at this point. If this is what exchanges are like, bro, I want it. And this is probably aggregating. I don't know if this is only the liquidity on MEXC. Oh, they have me on Binance? I wanted MEXC. What's up with that? All right, swap over. Okay. See, it's a little bit different here when you go over to MEXC. And this is what makes me slightly concerned, is that they don't have weeks. They don't have the exact exchange that I'm trading on, but it does seem like there is far more liquidity. Okay, yeah, there's way more liquidity on weeks. I didn't realize that I was on I usually look at weeks, not Binance. Wow, there's a lot of liquidity to the upside. So let's go. When you see these strong candles, if this thing can pump a little bit and close, you will have 3 white soldiers. And if we have 3 white soldiers, we might actually get a real move. Nope, keep pumping before it closes. Before the candle closes. Go. Go. Says, I know that feeling. I like how just randomly wakes up out of nowhere. MACD back to green and the red Vamoosh on the 15. Yep, exactly. And that's why when I feel like I kind of know the direction of liquidity, I don't trip too much. Even in some drawdown or something like that, I'm not overly worried about it. And when you get like a big, nice candle like this, you usually get a little bit more follow through than this. So I'm always kind of in my mind trying to measure strength of momentum, I guess you could say. Trying to measure the strength of momentum. And if I would have been in and out here like I normally would, I would already be up a couple $100 on the day. So far I've been like just in a trade that's been doing nothing most of the day, which a lot of days I find during the day the trade is kind of against me, doing nothing. And then maybe by like the nighttime, it flips and starts running. And that's usually when I make all my money. Like, I think I made $650 yesterday, and almost all of that, all that money was after I ended the stream. And what do we end the stream at? Like 11 o'clock, 10:45, 11 o'clock, something like that. So I made all that money later on. Shout out to Camps and Melissa for keeping this chat running. Who else is here, though? Is El Cheeto still here? Real Mr. J went to bed. For a minute there, we had like 22 people in here. I realize I'm going to have to join Twitter. Or, yeah, Jojo, you might have to join Twitter for sure. Well, while we wait for this thing to cook, and I'm going to set another alert lower. And we bounced right off the 618 on the fib. Actually, let's do this. Before we try to play any games or do any of that underground crypto hangout type stuff, let's go over to TradingView. And let's look at some stuff. So here I have the 3-minute chart. I'll make it the 5-minute chart. And you will see this bounced right off the 618. So bouncing at a higher level than, say, the 786, to me says a little bit of strength, right? And you could see when we started to pump here and we got stopped and we didn't go nowhere, that was the 5-minute 200 that really did that. So now for me to get like a nice pump up, we're going to have to kind of flip a lot of these MAs. We're just now barely back above the 200. We would need to hold it. It seems like it's being rather difficult to actually hold that. Let's hit that 3-minute. Yeah, just barely hanging above, just barely hanging above there. 5-minute, maybe pump up. Let's look at the 15. All right, and I'm going to delete this fib because I feel like it really clutters the space here. Now I'm looking for divergences. You know I'm kind of big on divergences. I don't really see any divergence here at all on the 15. Let's go to the hour. Man, the hour has been flat. Almost like maybe it's turning around a little bit. I mean, you definitely had some divergence here. Or wait, no, you still don't have really any divergence. Well, yeah, a little bit actually. They're barely at the same, direction, but one is way flatter than the other. And it's pretty much the same thing if you flip it the other way. And this hasn't bounced yet. So I don't know if it's going to be here, if it's going to be here or here. I don't know. Let's roll into something else. Like, say, the 4 hour. Wow. A very flat RSI is very interesting. Let's delete these. And here you go. Candle bodies, not wicks. That's bullish. That's bullish divergence. Hidden bullish divergence at that. So what can I say? This is not really resistance, but I guess there's a tiny bit right there. All right, let's get out of like the 4 hour time frame. There's hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour time frame, which tells you, according to my lifer vision, that you are going to break this high up here, which would be the all-time high up here, before you break this low down here. But remember, that low is low. That low is like 38. So if I could get in this thing, I trust the hidden bullish divergence. It's one of the strongest things, in my opinion, other than, you know, the Adam and Eve is pretty on par. Adam and Eve double bottoms and stuff like that. It's pretty on par with the hidden bullish divergence. This thing has been trending down. And if you get a little bit of a pop here on the 4 hour, right, you'll have a massive head and shoulder pattern, which ultimately isn't good. But you could still get a nice pop up and make a lot of money on an uptrend with River. So be very much paying attention to that. That is hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour. I predict that we will not ever break. I don't know if it's the wicks or if it's the candles when it comes to the strategy here, but I think it's the candle body. So I'm going to say we don't ever really go below like 38. That's my prediction. River never goes below 38. Cryptic Quinn says, what's up, man? I'm working, LOL. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you at least letting me know that you're in here. You've been streaming for 2 hours. It's flown by. Yeah, for real, man. And I can check real quick exactly how long. Yeah, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Yep, for sure. And, yeah, we streamed sometimes 2.5, 3, sometimes 4 hours. I think the longest stream we ever did was 6 on Halloween. We did a 6-hour stream. And tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun, guys. We still do some what's trending and everything, a little bit of crypto IQ stuff. We talk a little bit more freely. Friday is the hangout night. And I made Friday the hangout night, guys, because a lot of people kind of want to take the load off from the week. A lot of people want to go out, be with their friends, be at the bar or whatever. It's just a good night for us to play some DeFi games, hang out, talk about stuff, both crypto related and not crypto related, and just really have a good time. All right. So again, if there's anything anybody wants me to look at for them, throw it out there. If there's anything you want to talk about that's even crypto or non-crypto related, as long as it's not like, you know, I guess illicit or something, then we're good. Halloween stream was wild. Yeah, El Cheeto, you were here for that. Man, I love that, man. Love it. I need to update my liquidity chart here. So we're going to play a couple DeFi games real quick. It's so hard to believe we're not going up to this big thing here. Why does it keep bouncing me? So wait, you're telling me every time I refresh this, it's going to change me back to Binance and not MEXC? Because honestly, there's a lot more liquidity on MEXC. I need to be able to see weeks liquidity, or I need to change the exchange that I trade on. It's one or the other. The only thing is that MEXC is really temperamental, and I've had a really good experience with them and not had any real problems here. And because of that, I don't want to use a VPN when I'm streaming, because when you use a VPN, it messes up a lot of like your Windows loading. Like I'll try to load a website, and that's what we do constantly is flip through different websites. So that would really suck if they were like taking forever or just not loading, which happens a lot when you're on a VPN. and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people kind of raw dog with a little bit, no VPN, just hop on Mexi, ignore all of the things. But I find at some point those people wind up getting their accounts frozen and shit. And I just don't want to deal with that. I do not want to do that. We need to do an underground marathon stream or something one day. Yeah, Melissa, it's coming. It's definitely coming. You know, I think I'll do a marathon stream when we get monetized. And technically, we've already gotten everything we need. But for some reason, YouTube likes to be 6 days, 7 days behind as far as like in there. Like there's a little section in the back of YouTube Studios for people who don't know where it says earn. And you go there and that's where it'll show you what you're like qualify for. So at first we qualified for the super chats. It's like a mini pre-monetization where you can get a few features, but you're not like ads revenue monetized, right? And I'm not saying that's going to immediately equal a bunch of money because I don't think it will, but it'll equal some kind of money. But anyways, at that point, basically you get a small amount of monetization, but you got to hit the big 4,000, but it's behind. So I have to wait like another week to apply for it, even though we've already hit the numbers. So I'm just chilling, staying steady, doing what we're doing, keep going live, and we'll be monetized shortly. And then maybe from there, we'll plan. It'll probably be on a Friday because for a marathon, it is good to be able to play a bunch of DeFi games, right? Cryptic Quentin, did you join the Discord? And let's see, where do I have you guys? I have you guys on TradingView. Okay, while we're on TradingView, let's go look at BTC real quick. And we don't really want to look at it on the 1 minute. That doesn't seem like the best. You have very, very large bullish divergence on the 15 minutes. Look at that bad boy. And it's playing out right now. You bounced from, say, 81,800 to 82,004. So you almost bounced almost $1,000 so far. I think this is going to send you up a little bit. Look at this, though. And this is what you'd be projecting. Shoulder, head, shoulder. That other shoulder is ugly. Let's try that again. Something like that. Ultimately leading you to a pump back to the 200-day moving average on the 15-minute chart. That is bearish divergence. 15-minute bearish divergence, usually pretty strong, and sometimes it'll really start a bigger move, right, and indicate a bottom. Would like to see, I mean, you got tweezer bottoms for sure, right? You got these tweezer bottoms. So I love that. 1 hour, I mean, you can still kind of see the head and shoulder. You still have your bullish divergence. Not hidden bullish divergence, right? But regular bullish divergence. Pretty strong on the 1 hour time frame to get that. Let's bounce over to the 4 hour. 4 hour, you still have bullish divergence. Still have it. One trending up while one trending down. Bullish divergence. And that 4 hour doesn't really show that yet. So I would be predicting personal opinion, a significant-ish bounce. Now, that doesn't mean rip back to 95K. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying it looks like a bounce like maybe up to 80, somewhere between like 88,000 and 90,000. Over, of course, guys, probably a week or so. And in the real macro short time, 5 minute has bullish divergence. And look, you had bullish divergence right here. You could have saw this. Bang, that probably would have told you this bounce was over. The long would have been from here. And off you would have gone into the sunset if you would have recognized that. And we'll see what you would have got out of it. Of course, I'm pulling the full range, so you probably wouldn't have got the full thing. That's 1.6% on a little bit of leverage is not too shabby. When you're looking for the bottoms, of dips, usually you're going to find some divergence, bullish divergence, something like that. And is it all played out? Well, here's what stands kind of the test of time here is are you going to get above the 1 minute 200? That's kind of what it's all about right here. And you'll see that divergence in a lot of places, right? Bang. Like in a lot of time frames is what I mean. There you go. Bullish divergence again. Dang it. Getting so used to using the trading view over on weeks that I'm messing up on the actual legitimate trading view. Kind of funny. All right, let's flip over to Chrome and actually check on the trade real quick. Refresh our volume. Change it back to MEXC because there seems to be a lot more volume over there. I don't know what weeks have. I'm kind of annoyed with weeks that I can't see the volume. I might have to move to a different platform just because I can't see the volume. I looked it up on ChatGPT, see if maybe there was like a different website that had the volume. There's no data feed from weeks. I think it should be like a legal requirement. Legit. I think it should be a legal requirement from any exchange to have data feeds of their liquidity. See, this has a lot more liquidity lower, all the way to 39, which I don't love. It was not part of my strategy here. So I'm going to be looking at the MEXC. Going to be looking at MEXC's chart more. But still, I mean, the volume of liquidity is much, 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 much higher to the upside. And, I mean, you pretty much have no liquidity after 39. There's 148,000 at 39.1. That could really wick you down to like 37, you know, with the momentum. But like after that, you have all the liquidity to the downside. And at some point, you're going to have to turn around and go up. And that's, I think, what a lot of that divergence is telling you on the higher time frames there. And so I'm going to move my alert around. And then I'm going to play some Panzer Dogs, right? I think I've earned it. I did my due diligence. I came to the stream. I shared everything that I had on my mind and things to say. Oh, here's one thing. Melissa, are you out there? Okay, cool. You literally just posted, so this should be super relevant. Let me show you. Just chatted and posted links. I just wanted to show you this because I realized I never told you this. Let's go to the Discord, right? And right off the bat, I want to show what somebody posted. I would really appreciate if, as a community, we could all get together. I don't know who this person is. I don't know why they came in here and posted, but this is, as a people, as a community, this is our moment to shine, okay? This person says, weren't we just at 98K? What's even with this market? This makes investing in crypto so difficult. I've been investing since 2021, so I have patience, but these swings, no blow off top, no alt season, and no liquidity money printer movement upwards is so exhausting. We want to get out of the rat race, this makes us go a second or third money source just to get liquidated. Okay, venting over. Now, I've never seen this person post in here before, but they're obviously frustrated, guys. I'm not asking you to blow smoke up their ass. I'm not asking you to say things that are like, overly, cute and like, I don't know. I'm not asking you to be fake. But if we could, as a community, come together and respond to this to give some solidarity that we're with this person, that would mean the world to me. I'm going to reply to it as well. I'm just not going to do it live while we're on the stream. Now, that wasn't exactly, well, at least not Melissa. Everybody else, you could run over and do that, right? There is a link to the Discord right in the chat. Easy to get there. But this is what I want to show you, Melissa. Up here, when you get the link, you must go to right here where it says invite to server, right? Is that where you get the link from? Good time to DCA, right? There you go. I agree. And you see where it says invite to server? Well, click that, right? And I assume you usually hit copy right here. Are you with me? Are you with me so far, Melissa? Yeah, 100% El Cheeto, exactly. You just broke 82,500 for BTC. It's bouncing. Okay, so down at the bottom, Melissa, it says your invite link will never expire. Well, most of the time when you go here, it'll say your invite link will expire in 7 days. Melissa says, hold on. I'm holding. Since you're a mod and you're always posting the link, I just want to make sure that we do this because it could make a big difference overall when it compounds for like every day all the time, right? Let me know when you're there, Melissa. Says, I get your links off YouTube. Okay. Well, this is where you want to get the link from, Melissa. You want to go in here, and you'll see next to Underground Crypto, you'll see the little, looks like 2 people with a plus mark. When you hover over it, it says invite to server. Click that. And when you go down, like, here, I'll switch it. This is what it normally says. Your invite link expires in 7 days. I don't know why we would want a link that expires. I don't understand that fully. But next to it, it says edit invite link. So you click edit invite link. And then where it says max number of uses, you want to go to no limit. And then where it says expire after, you want to go to never. And then you hit generate link. And it will say your invite link will never expire. Then you click copy. And it'll automatically, copy it so that you can paste it somewhere else. So just always check that you're pulling it from here, and always check that it says your invite link will never expire. Because sometimes after you've closed Discord and reopened it, it'll automatically reset it to 7 days. It's stupid. But there you go. So, okay, I see it. All right, that's all I really wanted to say there. Check out Bankroll. We are live. Yeah, it seems like Bankroll's maybe asleep. We have a lot of people pretty active with Bankroll, trading on the daily, talking about all kinds of stuff from news related to what they're winning. This is a very active part of our Discord group. So if you're already in the Discord or you're thinking about it, this is where you want to go. We have a wins channel where you'll see I was posting last night. This is, look, I posted where we ripped on the 1 minute, and I mean this thing literally ripped. It went straight from where it had been hanging out and just, not doing much to just exactly where I needed to be in profit in no time. And then you could see I posted where I made $260. And then later on I made $177 and then $158. Basically kind of called it a night from there. I made another $48 after that, I think. But so even though I was down $500 in my trade when we were live streaming the whole time, I still made $650. And who knows, tonight could be the same. And then we're down in tutorials. I love that you posted, Melissa, these charts about patterns, candlesticks. Let's see. I want to upload. Where's the one that... I want to upload the one that is all about desktop. Okay, there we want. All about your divergences. I want people to learn their divergences. I think that would be really cool and very useful to everybody. So... everybody, please learn your divergences. All right, cool. So I posted about divergences, and now let's go back, check on the trade. And again, we are in the Underground Crypto Hangout part of the stream. It says, Cryptic Quinn just says, just join Discord. Awesome, brother. I appreciate you doing that. I don't think you'll doubt it. You can direct a message me, man, if you ever want to talk. We have here, let me show it real quick while I'm still on Discord. We have a main hangout. That's where we mostly post. There's an exclusive hangout, which is really built for when we blow up a little bit bigger. But you can ask to be invited to that if it's something that you want. You want to post in more of an exclusive group. Then we have community charts, Health is wealth. This is a little unrelated. We talk about health stuff. It's a big part of our channel. Bankroll has his area. And then we just added a wins channel not too long ago. And I literally just added today this tutorial, right? But also what I wanted to highlight is this voice channel. If I click on it, I'll be automatically in it, you know? And so this is where we can chat. We can screen share. We can video chat. You know, I can pop this on. I have no idea what it's going to do. Probably mess up my stream. But anyways, I'll go ahead and end that. That's where we can talk. And then, of course, you could always direct message me if you want to connect a little bit more. If not, no worries. If you're too busy or something, no big deal. All right, let's go back over to the internet where we are currently going down to the negative right now for River. Not really stressing about that. I need to put my alerts where I want them. Let's bring this alert up to what is the bottom there at like 42.5. And finally, I could play a round of Panzer Dogs. This is a play-to-earn DeFi game. Yes, you could play this with me if you want while we're live streaming. Just got to go and get to like level 5. It takes like, I don't know, 5 or 6 rounds at the most. And make sure you pick the Asia server. Otherwise, you really won't connect to very many players. But it's a lot of fun. Simple game, but at least it's 3D. It's play to earn. You get NFTs. As you play rounds, you earn what's called scrap. Scrap is obviously, you know, like metal parts. And that is the in-game currency that you use to open different boxes and stuff, right? Oh, I got him so good. Let's go. First blood. And I got that all alone. Nobody else was on that kill. Anyways, you can get NFTs and stuff. And then you can upgrade your tank and stuff. But it's all play to earn. Boom. Got him. Got 2 of them. Cooked him. Let's go. Who's messing with me tonight? Sometimes I'm hot. Sometimes I'm cold. But it seems like I'm hot right now. Oof. Got to be a bot. Why would you go past this missile and not pick it up? Let me help my teammate out here. Oh, I missed it. Let's go. Where's he at? He hiding in the grass. About to flush him out. Oh, this guy wants to play? That was risky business. I knew I was a little bit too close to him with that missile. I knew I was probably about to get whacked. I love when they stop on a dime right where I'm shooting. Like right where they would have been. But then they just stop. It's pretty funny. Oh, I know he's got that missile. Don't fire that thing when I'm close to you. Your own teammate can kill you with that missile there. Bang. Another one bites dust. Got him. Ooh, I knew he was about to fire that thing off immediately. Oh, man, I'm about to get so cooked over here. Need some health. What? Stupid lag. I didn't even see myself get hit. Oh, I better have got top dog. I was crushing that. Jojo says, I have to go to Snooze Land. Thanks for the great stream and all the undergrounds being so nice. Hey, you are welcome in the community, man. I hope to see you on another stream. I know it maybe is a little late for you. Maybe you could catch even the beginning of the stream or something. But I really appreciate you being here. Have a good night. Says, yeah, hell yeah, put me in the exclusive chat too. Will do. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'll add you to that. And says 4 a.m. here. Hey, I feel you. I'll be up to 4 a.m. I can pretty much guarantee that. Melissa says, I'm not done with uploading either. I just waved at you. Okay. There you go. Just join the Discord. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you for being here. I hope I see you on another stream. Have a great night. And shout out to anybody who sent in a super chat. Melissa, Mr. J. Wow, we must be streaming for a hot minute. It says there's only 3 minutes and 46 seconds left on our goal of 5 super chats. Doesn't look like we're going to hit it tonight, which is okay. I'm not stressing about it. It's kind of a fun thing to do, but I don't want to pressure people about no money. It's the last thing I want to do. But I just want to thank those who gave again, because it's what keeps this channel rocking and rolling. The more money I make out here, the more I can dedicate myself full time to nothing but crypto content for you guys. And the channel will just get better and better. Also, better equipment, better tech. I would like to get like a more sophisticated camera, get a nice sharper image. If you see the nice sharp image that the Lifer uses, you know, I've been in his studio and stuff like that. I see what he's rocking with. You drop a pretty penny on some stuff like that. So one day, all things are coming in their time. I believe in God's timing. Everything will happen when it's meant to happen. I'm right where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be there. No sooner, no less. And God's timing is literally perfection. So I don't second guess it. Cool. And I still rocking with this thing. For $5, honestly, for $5, this Fogo fishing thing has been a lot of source of like just kind of fun, I guess. You know, checking on it, clicking it, boosting it a little bit. It's just been a lot of fun. Got 17,000. The only thing I don't understand is it says the processing fee is $10. I don't understand that at all. Like, why would you charge me $10? That's more than I paid for the NFT to even do the transact. Like, do I need to just have $10 in my account? But I think they're going to take $10 for me. And I'll show you, like, what 17,000 is even worth here. It's not worth crap. So let's flip it. Let's go from fish, Fogo fish to USC. Let's put 17,000. It's like $1.15. So what? I'd have to have this thing rolling for like a lifetime, and then I finally get to like $15, and then they're gonna tax me $10. This fish better go up in some freaking value. I don't know. I don't know what the $10 fee is about. Like, that is pretty lame, in my opinion, to have a $10 fee on that thing. Super, super lame. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, just so annoying. And you earn yield from holding, so you do get bonus. Maybe over time I'll get a really big bonus. Maybe I'll hit a mythic fish, because when you do hit these fish, like that's a common fish, there is potential to hit like rare fish, mythic fish. I leave this thing on auto mining a lot of times, auto casting. So who knows what I've ever hit before, but actually watching it, I don't recall ever hitting any kind of rare fish, just common fish. And I'm also mining a little bit of BNB with my, what is this, chainers? I was going to say planters. It's not planters, it's chainers. I don't know why it won't connect here. I've already done this, and I try to get the reward, and then it just says, like, it can't verify me. It's super flawed on their behalf. It's pretty lame. Let's go to the daily reward, though. Ooh, I'm getting so close to my 500 CFB in-game currency. Then I'll be able to upgrade a good bit. I got epic bird food. I rock with that. Let's roll back to the farm and feed those birds. Then it'll give me an item. I can sell that item. And when I sell the items, I can get CFB, in-game currency, Polmatic, or BNB. I can go to my wallet and show you I've earned so far about 0.00056 BNB. Mind you, BNB is like $900. So it's, you know, if you earn a dollar or two, it's going to be super low. 0.000 something, right? I don't know if I've earned a dollar yet. I don't really care. This is more of like just a fun little game. See, I can't play games anymore, guys, that don't have some element of earning in them. And this one, it's like, you know, I have 4 plots. I started with 1 plot. I didn't have chickens and stuff. So I'm constantly building up my farm. And everybody wants to hop on these things and like brag that they make like $10 a day or $50 a day. But if they give away that much value up front, mind you, this game really just came out. If they give all that value away right off bat, it tells you it's pretty much an extraction event, and they're going to run straight to the bottom. All right, I got a free one. And it'll just give me an item that's related to the farm. We'll see what we got. We got what? Marigold seeds? That was weird. I assume I got marigold seeds. Usually it's like in a little card pack and you got to open it. I didn't even get to open it. Very interesting. Oh, they have a reward pool. Yeah, just kind of showing off some of the different games that we play here. This is a game that Melissa kind of turned us on to. Melissa's very good about finding games and stuff, which I think is really cool. I appreciate you. I saw you had dropped some new stuff. I had responded to you in the GameFi tab over on the Discord. I'm going to bring those up and like show them off a little bit. I know that you said that it didn't have like a working game yet, but I'll show that stuff off a little bit more when we get over to when we get to DeFi gaming. I was thinking of 4 different things at one time. That was not helpful. Anyways, I'm just messing around on here, racking up gold, hoping that they do some kind of expansion at some point. But usually with a game like this, like I'll mess around just every once in a while or something like that, kind of every couple of days or something for, say, I don't know, 2-3 months. And if they do absolutely nothing in 2-3 months, I'll start thinking that they're done, that they're not going to do anything. Pick up these little creatures. Oh, here's a golden cat. The cat is like one of the final creatures you unlock. Let's see. Can we do any upgrades? Oh, we can upgrade this to a level 2. It's kind of dope. I like how you can cycle through these without actually have to running all over the map. That's kind of nice. I don't ever see angry worms. Yeah, so that's all we can upgrade. What's the point of playing this at this point? I really don't know. It's just the hope that they actually, and I don't know why they don't build more. Like there's easily a lot of land for them to build some other things. Like they could easily put out a few more upgrades. It doesn't seem hard, so I'm very hopeful that they will actually do that at some point. And back to Panzer Dogs. Yep, have a blessed night. Absolutely. What's your thought on Myria? I try to find games at least once a week for the community. Hey, I greatly appreciate it. I mean, there's quite a few games that you put us on that I would have probably never knew about if you didn't say something. So I appreciate you doing that, for real. You never know we're going to find a gym or when DeFi gaming really going to come back strong. Telling you, during the DeFi gaming haven, I was making like $150, $200 a day from very small investment on different DeFi gaming. The problem is that all of those games gave away too much monetary value of their games and stuff too quickly, thinking probably that it was going to make people want to be a part of their game. And it really had a very negative effect. People just drained all the money off, and then they ran off with all the money, and then the game was gone, and then what they had built was useless, you know? Got another one. So I'm glad to see games like Chainers. I'm glad to see them kind of peel back the amount of value that they're giving away there, and not give away so much at first, because then maybe they might have some long-term ability. And I will say that like the paid upgrades, the like upgrades that they sell and stuff, they're not cheap. They're rather expensive. Hear my mom yelling at the dog. What's up with that? And don't get it twisted. I don't live with my mom. My mom lives with me. You mention your mom, they're like, another crypto guy that lives in his basement at his mom's house. Absolutely not. Just want to make that distinction. Maybe that's my own pride. It could be. But I do want everybody to know I am not a deadbeat that lives with my mom. Believe it or not, I actually own the house that I live in outright. It's paid for. All right, let's talk about Miria, because somebody asked. I just was already dead set on playing another round of Pins or Dogs, and so I was going to get that in real quick. But I'm not going to ignore you. It's still fun. I play mines. Yeah, if only I can find a gym that could make us millions. You never know, Melissa. It could happen. Even though it seems so unlikely, don't think that it's too far away to be tangible. Myria? I feel like I've heard of this, but I don't remember what it is. Of course, I typo it. Okay, here's Miria. It's got to be the right one. Let's check on our trade. Looks like we bumped up a little bit. Only down $14. At this point, I'm probably just going to take whatever liquidity it requires. I will say that usually right when I'm like, screw this thing, I'm just going to sell and get back in and reposition, that's almost always when it rips. When I've reached my patience. Like when my patience is hit like 15 hours of watching this thing do nothing, I'll go to like sell and I'll be like, let me hold on for 5 minutes, and then it'll just rip. So hopefully that's what it does. 0.0000000. No, I'm just playing with you. This thing is way back it's way down. But remember, guys, that the price of the token is irrelevant. It literally doesn't matter at all. What matters is circulating supply, right? 28.2 billion. Take the market cap, divide it into the circulating supply. That will give you the price per unit. Max Chart says this thing came out in April 5th, 2023. This is an old ancient token in the world of crypto that moves super fast and has the attention of a gnat or a goldfish. And it is down 98.9%. But what is it? It has an Ethereum contract, smart contract platform, GameFi, NFTs, layer 2, roll-up, gaming, blockchain, gaming platform. Do love me some games. And I thought I recognized this as like a gaming platform here. Only ask because it's a gaming token that I hold. Well, the way I usually judge these things are how much have they done lately. You know, do they have a working game? You hold it, but is there actually a game that you play? Because if they're gaming, right? Think they're gaming token. You hold their token. Is there a game you can even play on this thing? That's what I want to know. And I'll check a few of them out here in a minute, just kind of looking at things. Launch faster with modular and easy to use APIs. I know that a lot of these try to be like gaming studios almost, where they bring people and then they build the games and stuff, but sometimes that just doesn't really work out. I feel like they need to build a flagship game to start with, at least to show people that they want to be here. It all says learn more. Like, I don't want learn more. I want play. I want to play something. Something needs to work. And it doesn't need to revert me to mobile all the time. They show a lot of games. What is Retrocraft? Let's see. My son plays a lot of Minecraft, so obviously I get what this is. Yeah, cool. But I don't want a video. Anybody can make a video. You know what I mean? Promotional video. Anybody could do that. So they have some NFTs. How to play. Yeah, let's talk about how to play. So embark on a thrilling journey, Retrocraft, where gaming nostalgia meets cutting edge blockchain. Yeah, but does it? Technology on Minecraft servers. Develop a passionate game creator and seasoned blockchain specialist. Retrocraft offers a unique play-to-earn retro gaming metaverse. Yeah, but how do I play it? Like, where do I go to log in? Like, how am I playing Retrocraft versus I'm just playing Minecraft? Maybe I should have watched the trailer. But a lot of times these trailers are highly promotional. Okay, so it's Mario Racing for Minecraft? I mean, that's cool. Mini games. Like, it's cool. Retrocraft.com. Like, why don't they have a link to retrocraft.com? You feel me? Like, what is the point of that? Maybe there is. Retrocraft team. Let's go to their X. Probably the best place to find a link. 12.7 thousand followers. For the amount of people that follow Minecraft type stuff, I know because my son plays Minecraft. Very, very surprised if they actually had working stuff that it wouldn't be booming. Retrocraft officially rebranding. That can be good. A lot of times it's not. I don't want to get over fixated on one thing because he wanted to know about Mira and not Retrocraft here. But I want to see working games, and I did not see working games. And if you're a gaming studio and there's no games, then what do you really have? You don't really have anything at that point, right? This thing is freezing. Let's go. Check on that trade again. Nonsense. Bouncing off of my break even like it is some kind of support and resistance. It's just weird. Enter the cosmic battleground, but you can't enter. There's no play button. It's so stupid. Website. All right. Okay. See, this is what that other game needed. But you got to download this. And I just want to hop on and play. That's why I like Panzer Dogs, because it's like an in-browser game. Now I'm all for downloadable games. Like, I'm all for that. What I would do personally on a game like this, I go look it up on YouTube and see what's actually going on first before I actually downloaded it. I want to see what the game's about. But all right. Don't really know what else to say about Mirror. It's down dramatically. They need to put out some kind of game that gets a bunch of brand recognition and hype before I think that thing is ever going to do anything. It's about 50. It's over 50% vested. You still have about 50% of tokens to come out, which is concerning. And the volume for trading is like 267,000. It's literally peanuts. Yeah, looks like it's a dead gaming coin in my opinion. I don't want to be too harsh about it, but that's what it looks like. I think there's better out there. But if you already hold it and you're down dramatically, I have held so many tokens until they eventually paid me. With the market that we're having right now, like the post somebody put in the Discord, and I don't know who they are. I've never seen them post before. But I feel their momentum, you know. It was 4-year cycle. It's 4-year cycle and stuff like that. Seems to be broken. Maybe we are actually in the bear market, and it was only elongated by a couple of weeks. If we were only elongated in the bull market, quote unquote, for a couple of weeks, but you still, when it comes to our 4-year cycle, like you could argue that fact, time frames from the bear and the bull. But what about our blow off top? What about the excitement? What about anything in crypto? It doesn't seem to be happening. In my opinion, I'm still bullish on crypto long term. I still very much believe that the big players wanted a place and they want to own it. And when you want to own something the way that the real big players in the world are used to playing stock market and stuff like that, think of your BlackRock and your different hedge funds and stuff, is they own 85% of stuff. But in crypto, they have to actually shake those coins out of real people's hands. They can't just go buy them. They can't just make more paper shares, you know, paper contracts and stuff like that. They have to literally get you to sell them. So the pressure is on. The hopes and dreams are being snuffed out. When you give up, this is my opinion. This is just how I roll. When you give up and you sell your crypto, they're going to buy it at a super discount. And then they're going to let this stuff run. And it's going to be on TV. And then they're going to let it be what it really is. But not until they've accumulated what their goals are in accumulating. And I think that goes for the big coins. I think that goes for BTC, Ethereum, BNB even, Cardano, XRP. and maybe a handful of others. The other ones I don't think they care much about at all. Dogecoin, definitely, because there's ETFs and stuff like that. They're going to want to own high majorities of them. And some people just don't want to sell, like me. And so we'll see. I wish I could say I had a ton of Bitcoin that I bought in 2013. I don't. That's not how I got in to crypto at all. But, that's kind of my talk here. All right. So, only asked because it's a gaming token. No, honestly, I never checked out the games out. I bought it because a certain content creator shilled it, and I fell for it. Hey, that happens. I feel you. Fair enough. I appreciate you looking at it. I was just curious if you heard of it. Good thing I only put $250 on it, not just a tiny bag. Yep, Lifer has some too, coincidentally. Yep. Exactly. Dump it to pump it. There you go, El Cheeto. And of course, Cryptic Quentin, you come to the channel and you want something. We're a small channel. We're trying to grow. It's easy for me to get to stuff. So anytime, don't be shy, man. Don't be shy at all. And with that, guys, I guess I'm just going to continue to trade kind of live here because that's what I would be doing when I hopped off the stream anyways. Although right after the stream, I did want to get one of my videos for the Flare ecosystem ready, which I still will probably do, and have that post, or I'll get it ready tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. If I'm up to 4 a.m. anyways, I probably will do it. This trading has been taking up a lot of time. It's been really nice to make a lot of money in a very short period of time off of a little bit of money. Again, I started doing this with $400. And I turned that into $1,300, or I turned it into $1,700. I made $1,300, and then I messed around and lost a little over $1,000 for sure. And then now I've been getting it back. Then I made $850, and then I made $650, and then I think I made like another $48 or something like that. And now I'm trying to add to that. This thing has been moving really smoothly for me to liquidity. And today, just right now, this last today trading session, it's just been super range bound. It doesn't want to move, which tells me when it does move, it's going to move violently, which is where you get that crazy wick. When it just hangs in between, it does something crazy. That's what I've found. It's going to hard pump wick one direction. And so we'll see. It's threatening to pump again. I'm here for it. Said we would be grateful if all enthusiasts would please press the like button, subscribe, or join the Discord. Follow, I think is what she means, Underground Crypto on Twitter. Appreciate you constantly saying stuff like that, Melissa. It is very helpful. That is great mod service right there. I appreciate you. And then Cryptic Quentin says, much appreciated, LO. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Are you holding alts right now? Yeah, at one point I had a little bit of money. Nothing crazy, not hundreds of thousands or even 50,000 or anything like that. But I had a little bit of money for me, and I could buy, one BTC, or I could buy, and this is when BTC was really low. Or I could buy alts. And I had been through a season. Alts did well. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined the market we were going to have. I was ready for it maybe to not pump as hard and stuff because we had a lot more people here and stuff. And they love to crush normies' dreams. They don't want normies getting rich. You got to remember that the whole world, the entire world, feeds off of the middle class. 1,000%. The middle class basically economically fuels the world. The 1% have figured out how to both legitimately and illegitimately take money from the middle class. They're the people working and producing, people who work, produce. And they're getting rich off you one way or the other. They're either getting rich off of your labor, or they're selling you products to get your money, or they're straight up stealing it. And then the bottom half, the people who are not in middle class, there's some good people who are working, don't get me wrong, but there is a lot of theft. There's a lot of criminality. There's a lot of people stealing from the government through different programs and stuff like that. So the whole world is eating the lunch that the middle class is producing. Absolutely. But my point was that I bought alts instead. I got into crypto off of Dogecoin, not as a Dogecoin enthusiast, but because I had taken some profits from like stocks and stuff like that. I was never big into it. We just had the whole, pandemic type nonsense, and they tanked, and I saw an opportunity. Robinhood was being spammed. I didn't really know a lot about investing or anything at that time. This was many years ago. And after I had taken my profits, things kind of went back up for the stocks. I bought like some airlines and I bought some cruise lines and stuff like that because they were hurt pretty bad. Then after like 6-7 months, a year, whatever it was, things went back up, and they had Ethereum and Dogecoin on Robinhood. And I didn't know what cryptocurrencies were, but they were just in their own little separate classification. And I was like, I don't know what these are. So I was taking profits. I was like, let me throw... I threw somewhere between like 200 and 220 or whatever into Dogecoin. Mind you, at that time, Dogecoin was 0.002, so it was low. And then Dogecoin ran, and I watched that like $220 turn into about, 22,000, 24,000, something like that. And it just got my attention. I was like, what the heck is this crypto stuff? This is amazing. Of course, I didn't sell it, so I still hold Dogecoin for sure. In the long run, it'll probably be a good hold. I should have sold it. I wish I would have sold it. But at the time, I didn't know about 4-year cycles. I didn't know. I wasn't educated. That's why I'm so passionate about trying to raise people's crypto IQs and stuff, because I didn't know any of that stuff at first. The people I followed, like, I'm sure they said it and stuff, but they didn't necessarily hammer on it hard enough to get through my thick-headed skull, I guess you could say. But anyways, that's how I got into crypto. Cryptic Quentin. Figured I'd tell that story for anybody who's new here. Said, holy cow, that's awesome. Yeah, it would have been really awesome if I would have sold it and changed my life a little bit. That would have been amazing, but I didn't. But now we have Dogecoin ETFs and stuff like that. Maybe I could get somewhere with that. Litecoin was my first ever crypto purchase, really. I hear quite a few people say that. I held some Litecoin for a while. I did consolidate it at one point, because it just got boring. And so are all the other ones I hold, actually, at this point, too. Yeah, I feel you. I'm currently writing my bags down right now. I do think in the long run you'll be glad that you held, but everybody does what they want, not financial advice, right? Yo, what is this wick doing? So that wick was trying to become a bird and fly away. It's got a wick on each side. They look like wings. The thing was about to like just fly away. Indecision Doji. Cryptic Quentin, you came from the Lifers channel, right? Pretty sure you did. How long have you been a lifer if you did? Hang on for the ride, Cryptic. I believe in long-term gains over short come-ups. Yeah, exactly. Wealth takes a long time. People always said to me, like, you stay in crypto for, like, between 4 to 8 years, you're going to make some good money. I don't know if that's still true, though. All my bags are down, says Melissa. Yeah, so are mine. I mean, I did buy a long time ago, and what I know, well, I was going to say what I feel like was the bear market. It was the bear market for sure. We were much lower. So I'm up on a few things, right? But not as good as I was a short period of time. Like I bought some XRP at between 25 and 50 cents. And now what? Now it's like $1.80. That thing was at like $3, wasn't it? I think it'll come back. I hope I don't sound too bearish. I mean, I try to be real about it. I can't promise nobody that we're about to, blast off. But I have a good feeling about, I would say, I think we're going to be looking real good come May 2026. That's kind of my gut feeling. But I don't trade on gut feelings. I got into crypto off of conviction, and I'm still here off of conviction. And I'll just trade. Like, I've been doing pretty good trading. Like I said, making $650, $850 off, I made $1,300 off of $400. Like, I do have a pretty odd trading style. I've combined a bunch of stuff from a bunch of different people who I have learned from. The Crypto Lifer is where I learned all of my TA pretty much exclusively. And then there's Master Friend, if you're familiar with him in the Lifer Discord, who is the leverage master, and he sure is. And I took his course. It's like $300, but it's a one-time $300, and then you get access to his part of the Discord. It's like a Discord inside a Discord, right? It's like a group inside a group. It's very kind of tight and exclusive, and you have to pay to get in it. Great people over there. Master Friend is awesome. He does an amazing job explaining market makers and the way that the market works and stuff. But he also teaches things like mitigation strategies and stuff like that. And that's what I've combined into this. I thought it was well worth my $300. I learned a lot. I did come from Lifers. I'm pretty new. I joined during Black Friday. Awesome, man. Hey, I know the Lifer personally. He's an amazing person, very kind and generous, and he's really everything that he is on live stream. That's really Sam. That's really who he is. He doesn't sugarcoat or pretend to be something else. I've had the luxury of knowing him and getting close to him, and I tell you, man, he's an awesome person and very, very smart at what he's doing. Like, he's top notch. He's world class in what he does. So if you want to know about TA and stuff, I don't teach TA here, none of that stuff. You might see me do a few things, but like I don't really teach. The Lifer is where it's at. I bought my first crypto in December 2024 because my personal trainer told me to buy XRP. Was going to 10K. Yeah, those XRP people, I love them. But you know what always strikes me as odd about the crypto, or not crypto, the XRP people? Most of them have been sold like this nonsense on Twitter about it going to 10K, going to 50K. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not happening quickly. That's for sure. And most of them don't want to know about anything else, though. Like, maybe XLM. That's it, because XLM is kind of a part of the story that they tell over and over and over again. A lot of influencers and people, they just want clicks, and they just want attention, and they just want to be somebody in crypto. And they're the shills for XRP and XLM. And I love XRP, and XLM is all right. I own some. Matter of fact, my biggest bag is XRP, so I'm not shitting on XRP. But it's just funny to me. I know a lot of people who hold XRP. That's all they hold, and they don't want to know anything about anything crypto. They don't know anything about blockchain. Their crypto IQ is like 4, but they know XRP is going up. It's just like, all right, bro. I believe it'll go up, but like 10K win in like 2045, maybe. Anyways, I'll read the rest. So fortunately, I bought the top in January last year. Nice. Not really, sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. I did get early ZBCN, though. Zebek is holding my portfolio up. Nice. Learning the hard way. Yeah, we'll probably join. It sounds like a good idea. Sam has awesome energy. I like the positivity. There you go. I look forward to seeing you on the live streams. I'm sure you've seen me in the live streams in the morning. I remember when Lifer was with Crypto Revolution, Crypto Chris. Then he went on his own, and eventually I found his stream and followed him, and now I found you and follow you as well. That's awesome. Yeah, it just goes right around. And who knows, maybe somebody will do something in our community, and I'll have the luxury of shouting them out and helping them. That would be awesome too. Yo, what is this range that this thing is stuck in? Come on. And look, how many times this thing bounced off of my break even? My break even is this green line. And what is it doing? Like, my break even is not a real support line. It's just not. It's not really on the chart. Like, it's so freaking stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces directly off of my break-even line. Like, I alone am the market maker, and I'm the only person they're concerned about. I know it's far from true, but it feels like it sometimes. And the thing is, it's funny is it'll do this to my break-even, right? But I'll mitigate and add money, so like my break-even moves, and it'll still do it. No matter where I move it to, it'll keep doing it. It's freaking wacky, if you ask me. I really would like to get out of this trade and move on to other things. Oh, we're on a 3-minute chart. I'm usually on the 1 minute, and it's this 200 right here. This 200 is what's just holding us to the ground. The 5-minute 2, also the 3-minute. Let's see what that 1-minute 200's at. Yeah, it's just so stupid. There's a crap ton of liquidity above us. It's hard to believe the market makers don't want to go fill orders higher when there's millions and millions and millions of dollars that they're probably going to make up higher. Like it's retarded. If I'm still allowed to say that, I don't know. Everybody might get offended. I grew up in a different time. You got to remember that. I grew up in the 90s. It's not like I grew up in the 70s or something, but it must hear me talking smack because it's like, all right, we got you. We're gonna pump a little bit for you. Super gangsta. That's wild, Melissa. Yeah, I've been around. Hey, that's awesome. The divine spirit putting you where you gotta be. Says I agree. Hey, that Holy Spirit will guide you if you let it. Some people can't be guided, though, because they feel like they know everything, right? Pride is the downfall. That's why they always say pride comes before your downfall. Shout out to everybody who's here still. It's amazing. And I'm just basically hanging out trading at this point. I might bounce to a few other things. We did our due diligence for sure. Our generation has become so soft. LOL. They're just words. Yeah, I agree. Where I grew up, nobody was offended by words. The idea of being offended by words was such a weak thing that, like, if you were offended by what somebody said, like, you a lot of times would just keep that to yourself. You just secretly dislike them, but you wouldn't actually say it because it wasn't accepted. Yeah, I got tough skin. No, you're not. It says, no, not me. I'm sorry. Oh, you kill me. You kill me, Melissa. No, we're all just trying to make something happen and use our best judgment to get ahead here, and you have to remember that everybody is against you. That, again, like I said, the rich and the extreme poor, they get by eating the middle class's lunch, and the middle class has become so soft that they've allowed it to happen, so we're not, and I say I don't really include myself, but I'm probably middle class, the bottom end of middle class, I would say. I don't know. But either way, I don't know where the line where middle class is. But anyways, I would say that it's our fault. We've allowed them to do this. We participated. We give them our money. We buy the stupid consumerism things. And we don't give our money jobs. And everybody here is trying. My point was everybody here is trying to get ahead and make something happen. Whether they're very passionate or they just want, to get wealthy or whatever. But you got to remember that everybody is against you. BlackRock's against you. They have $7 trillion under management, I think. And they're against you. Like the banks, they're against you. Everybody's against you. And so you're trying to win in an environment where everybody is trying to make sure that what you started makes them rich. And so you got to remember that. It's why you got to be thick-skinned and tough here. Yeah, you can't have a simple, honest conversation these days. Absolutely not. High five, Melissa. Yep. It says stop. It's pretty funny. Yeah. And that's just what I have to say about it. I'm just chilling. Those are just my opinions. Everybody, I'm super easygoing. You're free to have your own opinions. You don't have to act like, if you don't agree with me, no big deal. You will not offend me by not agreeing. You can be you and you can have your opinions. You don't have to act like you agree with me if you don't actually agree with me. Yo, this 200 moving average is just absolutely ridiculous. And we've come to a head here where it's like, what is even going on anymore? I guess that River is like just going to be one of those dead coins that fades into all irrelevancy. It had its nice pump. It went from nothing to something, and now it's going to just fade back to irrelevance. That's what it's feeling like. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I did point out some very strong bullish div on like every time frame, like including this 1 hour chart. There it is. But like the bullish div usually pumps you up. You got a slight pump up and you've just been held in this extremely tiny range. It's very weird. It smells like manipulation. That's my opinion. Like this very dramatically smells like manipulation. But like on the 15 minute, could you be making like a giant Bart Simpson? Okay. I always forget I can expand this chart and make it bigger. Yeah, I need to do that. Otherwise, it's a little hard to look at this. But is this an inverted Bart Simpson? Kind of feels like that. And our Bart's, well, no, okay. I was going to say our Bart Simpson's diamonds, but they're not, because the diamond pattern usually has like a big wick in it, you know? That's what makes it the diamond. They usually break out the way they came in, so you would have dropped into it, Bart Simpson, and then up. But without this wick action, it's not really a diamond, I guess. Some patterns that I don't use as much as far as like indicators of where things are going. Bart Simpsons I do. But inverted Bart Simpsons I haven't looked at a ton. Inverted cat ears, I don't look. I see them sometimes, but I don't ever really stick around to see what they do. It's not something I jump in over. But I mean, you can see this is a 15-minute chart. You've been really respecting these lines here at like 42.6. Well, no, it's like 42.8. Then you had a nice little wick to 41.8, and then another wick down here to 40.8, and then who knows? Other than that, this thing is like super rounded, like it's going to just really round out. And they always say rounded bottoms pay the bills. I thought this was going to round. Then we got this. Are we going to get like a head and shoulder? Or do we just like consider this whole thing like one big rounded thing? Time will tell. I want to stop trading this coin, but at the same time, like this bullish divergence and stuff on like every time frame really feels like it's worth sticking around. And the hidden bullish on the 4-hour time frame has me somewhat excited. I'm not gonna lie, but that'll take probably a week or more to come to fruition. I believe in the future of crypto. There's a reason why governments and institutions are hoarding this stuff. Yeah. See, and that's the thing. We're considered as retail. They consider us dumb money. And they're right. That most retail is dumb money. But a big part of that being dumb money is just not having access to all the back insider stuff that's going on. Like, we don't have access to it. So, of course, we're not privy to it. And if we're not privy to it, then I guess we look dumb because we're making our decisions based off of something other than what's really going on, right? So by nature, we're dumb money. But at the same time, I can see that they buy the stuff. They hoard the stuff. They're creating instruments. They're making ways for people to invest their 401ks into crypto. Like, the money's coming. And they know that. They just want to make sure that they have everything. Talk about XRP. I'm not one of those people that's ever going to tell you XRP is about to go to know $50,000 because that's insane. Maybe those people know something. They talk about a private ledger, right, and a public ledger. I've never really seen much proof. I've been close to a couple of people who have secondhand knowledge. I've been close to a couple of people who had somebody who they knew really well who work in banks, and they swear that they have seen the private ledgers and stuff for XRP. And on the private ledger, the stuff is worth $30,000, $40,000. I don't know. I have no idea. And just because there's like a public bank or a private bank ledger doesn't mean that that's ever going to be the same as the public coin. I have no idea how that works or if it's even true. I don't know why they'd lie about it. They got nothing out of lying to me about it. And they didn't even know I was a crypto person either. That was another really weird thing. Is they didn't know that I was even into crypto. And it was before I had this channel. But anyways, maybe it'll happen one day, but I doubt it. But my point was, they didn't just, apply or acquire the ability to have a banking license and stuff for no reason. They didn't do that. You know what I mean? And Ripple has come out and clarified several times that you do have to use the XRP token legitimately in order to interact with their system of cross-border payments. So there you go. Stuff like the money is coming. It's just, they don't want you to be here. I say a lot too, like the way that it works is at the top of the market, the smart money sells to the dumb money. The dumb money buys the top and the smart money runs off with all the money, and you hold the crypto when it dumps for the next year and a half. Like this coin is doing right now. What the hell? All right. And so, if they're going to plan, if their major plan is to sell the crypto off, like they need people to buy it at the top. If we all as normies buy with them, we all ride up to the top of the market, the blow off top. What do we just stand there and look at each other and be like, so are you going to buy my crypto or you're expecting me to buy your crypto? Like who's buying our crypto? We need the normies, the dumb money to be hungry to buy crypto at the worst possible time ever. That's how the market works. And that's another reason why I feel like they're probably just trying to, get everybody out of the market, because then they'll come rushing. They know they're coming running back when there's like a crypto commercial on every 10 minutes on your TV, on every like major sports, like crypto's pumping, people are excited. There's crypto ads on football and whatever other sports. You feel me? And that is when it'll probably be the top of the market, and it'll be over, and they'll rinse and repeat, and then they'll do it again. What is going on here? Big dump. Sell in May, walk away. Well, there you go. 50K XRP would be nuts. Yeah, it would. I'd probably be generationally rich at that point. You wouldn't need much to be generationally rich at that point. Do you think we'll fill out a right shoulder on the weekly time frame and reject off the 50-week moving average, or are we dumping to the 200-week MA? 200? Oh, so like the weekly 200 MA? I don't know. We could go look at BTC. I did look at BTC a little bit earlier. I don't know if you were here for that. If not, no big deal. We'll go to TradingView. We'll do it again. Let's go to the weekly 200. Where the heck? Oh, I'm on River. Hilarious. Yeah, we don't want to look at Rivers too. I don't think it has a weekly 200 MA. Yeah, that'd be down at like 57,000. I think if you go to 57,000, then in all honesty, I would say bull market in, or bear market in, bull market non-existent, and it's a wrap. It does kind of look like this weekly head and shoulder, right? Which means you kind of need another shoulder and another run to like at least, some kind of level. I mean, I just randomly drew a shoulder, so I'm not going to act like that's a level. But I personally don't think we're going to the weekly. I think you've got a good, you kind of have a double bottom. If we bounce here and hold it, you'll have kind of like a nice double bottom support level here at, I don't know, I'd say it's probably something like 78,000, 80,000. Say more like 80,000. And if you roll into more like the daily, could see us pumping back to the 200, which is actually quite a bit. Like that would probably bring you to something like 100,000. Who knows? There's so many weird macro things economically and stuff going on that honestly this could go any which way. You do have bearish divergence on the 4 hours, if you see what I'm doing here. Got lots of bearish divergence. It's odd that those would not play out. I mean, this one up here, the first one you had, it definitely did play out. Like that definitely did play out. But you got rejected by the 200 on the 4 hour. Said you shall not pass, and that was that. Said, yeah, by the way, my plan was to sell on a relief rally if we got the right shoulder and then buy back in lower. Giggle crossed the 200. Okay, Melissa. BTC, not BTW. LOL. It's hilarious. What was the ticker BTW? We went over it earlier. Oh, it was Bitway or something, right? I'm on BTC for sure. I don't think that's what you're saying, but just wanted to clarify. 1 hour still has bearish, or sorry, 1 hour has bullish divergence. And you could see there was this giant bearish div right here. When you pull from the top, that's your bearish divergent. When you pull it on the bottom, it's your bullish divergence. So I didn't think we dumped that hard, but it's not crazy. We did have bearish, big, ginormous bearish div on the 1 hour. 15, same thing. There is bullish divergence, but you might have got the move on the bullish divergence. First thing you got to break for you can get back to the 200 on the 15. And I know you're talking about this shoulder, head, and shoulder. Shoulder, head, shoulder that I pointed this out earlier. I think that's what you're talking about. But the 15's tapped out. You're on the 21. Looks like you're going to get rejected by the 21. It's going to dump some more. That's what it looks like. I do kind of want to come look at River and see what the heck it's doing. Okay. And then it acted like it was going to bounce. Are we at the top or the bottom of that? And I know where my break even is because it is bounced off of it a million times. I could find it on the chart pretty easy. Something like this. 44.1. Is that what it is? Port you guys back over. It's 44.5. Or no, wait. No. It's 44.3. So, yeah, there you go. Like super range bound right now. I'd really like to get out of this trade. Did I say BTW? I don't know. I don't know if you're talking about earlier in the stream when we talked about BTW or if I said BTW. That was like Bitway, right? Finna move maybe some money over from my wallet, other wallet, just to mitigate my way out of this. This is just taking forever. It's kind of stupid. The last thing I got to be really careful because the last thing I want to do is get myself in way too deep here and then price really dramatically run against me. Let's go look at liquidations real quick. Or liquidity, not liquidation. Same thing, really. Make sure we get it off of Binance. I wish it would stay on what I'm actually on. And come down. Yeah, you have liquidity lower. For sure. I mean, why they don't want this 594,000, I don't know. You did have this big wick already where you took out this big 477,000. Yeah, there's 311 at 42.4. Might go a little bit lower. But again, if you sweep like down to like 39, like you've got it all. At that point, there's like no liquidity. And they've already sweeped it once. They might sweep this lower liquidity again. But when you play the liquidity game, it's like once they sweep this liquidity, there's nothing below you to go to. And you have all the liquidity above you. And I think that's kind of what creates that like large 4-hour time frame, 1 hour time frame bullish divs that like pull you up. It's because there really isn't anything there anymore. Sometimes the momentum will carry you. No, I was just correcting myself. Typo. Oh, okay. I missed that part. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for BTW. Okay, I see what you're saying. Got you. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody being here. I think I'm probably going to hop off. It's almost midnight where I'm at. We've been live for 3 hours and 30 minutes, almost a 4-hour stream tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I really do. I'm going to mitigate my way probably out of here. I will let everybody know how it went. And we will go from there. There will be a stream tomorrow. Come through. Tomorrow is a fun stream. We're going to hang out. We're going to go over everything that's trending and do our due diligence for sure. But we're going to be doing some GameFi and some DeFi gaming and looking around and seeing what else we can find to play and stuff. Who knows what we might find? Who knows what we might talk about? Who knows what you might learn in the next episode of our series here. And Saturday will be back to the series. Saturday is the last day of our series. We do a new series every week, but they're built to compound on top of each other, so it's all relevant. You're going to learn a lot. Have a good night, man. Yeah, you as well. I appreciate you being here to the very end like that. That's very solid of you. I look forward to seeing you in the Discord. Have a great night, Melissa. Thank you. And anybody else who's here, El Cheeto. I'm sure El Cheeto's still here. He commented not too long ago. Have a great night, and I love seeing you back on the channel, brother. I appreciate your support more than you would ever know. Jojo was a new one. It was his first time on the stream. He commented. He was active. I think he joined the Discord. He definitely seemed to enjoy it. Have a good night, everybody. One love exactly back to you. And with that, stay underground, stay crypto. I'll see you in the next episode. Crypto Ron out. Thank you for the super chats, everybody.